Guys, gals, everything in between. How's it going? Mavaka got here doing my first live stream. I know it's going to be a little weird because it is the first one I've ever done. So hope you guys stick with me. Give me some pointers or some suggestions as we go along. What you'd like to see better. So yeah, let's talk about this coronavirus. It's been spreading like wildfire in the last few days, and it's getting a lot worse. It's hit Toronto yesterday. Story of a 50-year-old male. I want to pull this one up here. This was from CBC. Canada's first presumptive case of coronavirus found in Toronto. What I want to know from you guys is, has anything else happened to you in your country as far as the coronavirus goes? Are you guys scared, worried, concerned? What questions do you have? Let's all chat about it, and hopefully we can calm each other a little bit anyway, until we can figure out what's going on. Let's see who's in the chat. If you guys want to say hello, Sue Lolo says hello. Let me say hello to the people in the chat. Are you guys scared, worried? And then we'll get going. What questions do you have? Let's all chat about it, and hopefully we can calm each other a little bit anyway, until we can figure out what's going on. And if you ever do want to become a moderator for the chat, for the live chats that I'll be hosting, you guys are more than welcome. Just send me a message. You could either send it to me on Twitter at Mavakaga, which is Mavakaga, or you can also email me at mavakaga@gmail.com. Again, Mavakaga. But I guess that'll be sometime down the road. And if you ever do want to become a moderator for the chat. So yeah, as I said, I see another couple messages here. Data Junkie, Tracy Littman, welcome all, and as well as Devolve. If this is popping up in the first world countries, and the third world must be effed already. You know what? It's a lot worse than what they're saying on the news, and that's why I really don't trust mainstream media. And I did post quite a few videos from inside China. A couple people were saying, oh, you know, this one might be a fake video or something, but I'll tell you something right now. The ones that they're showing on the mainstream media is nothing. All they do is talk about it and say, you know, hey, one person died today, and that's it. They don't show you any of the videos from inside the hospitals. They don't show you what the situation looks like in Wuhan. I also posted a video today from Beijing, an Uber driver who was wearing the hazmat suit, goggles, covered his whole hands. Everything was covered. They don't show that on the news, and I don't know why. I mean, it's maybe so they don't strike fear in people. But you know what? This is real. They got to be showing this stuff. They got to be talking about this stuff. This is reality. They shouldn't sugarcoat it and try to make it look like, you know, it's no big deal. Because even the World Health Organization is saying that, oh, it's not an epidemic yet. Well, is that because China only says that less than 100 people are dead? Or is that because I've heard rumors, and I did do some searching about it, that the wife of Xi Jinping is a part of World Health Organization. So if that's the case, of course they're not going to call it an epidemic. They didn't call SARS an epidemic until it was too late, and 800 people died from that. I think there's already more than 800 people dead from this one. So I don't know what they're waiting for, but it's all propaganda and whatever else you want to call it. Let me see what else I see here. Anyone else hear a faint echo? Data Junkie, like I said, this is my first one, so I got to work out the kinks to this whole thing. But yeah, let's see what happens here. Data Junkie, I think you have an extra tab open to the stream. You're feeding us your audio twice, so we are getting you speaking over yourself. Let me see if I put the volume lower. Let me know if you guys, if that makes it any better. For sure, man, I think China is hit hard. The response from officials regarding virus shows it's much more serious than they are reporting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tracy. It's a lot more than what they're saying anywhere. I don't even know if the first case in Toronto, there's only been what, 5 or 6 cases in the States. I don't think that's true. I hope people living in China, especially big cities, I hope them all the best and good luck. The Chinese government need to do something. I mean, really do something good for their people. when was the last time that China ever did good for their people, Sulolo? The Chinese government has always been, downplaying any kind of disaster that happens in and around China. There's been stories where, there was a train derailment and thousands of people died, and I think they only have a limit in China as to how many people they can pronounce dead. I heard somewhere that I think there's a limit. If there was like 1,200 people, is their limit. 10,000 people can die from some serious disease or concern or something, and China is only allowed to say 1,200 died. That's the maximum. So, okay, Data Junkie. Okay, great. So yeah, I did mute the volume from the PC, so I guess that was the problem. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Devolve. Mostly the cases in Toronto and the U.S. are Chinese travelers or people who traveled to China. Well, Devolve, the one from Canada here, I'll read this one. It says right on here, man in his 50s traveled from China to Toronto on January 22nd and became quite ill within a day of arriving. So here it says Canada confirmed its first presumptive case of coronavirus in Toronto as the number of infections worldwide surpasses 1,900 cases. Public health officials announced Saturday afternoon the patient, a man in his 50s who had traveled to Wuhan, China, was found at Toronto's Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center. Another thing is they haven't said his name or anything, but I'm assuming he's Chinese. They haven't said his name. Within a day of arriving, officials say he became quite ill, says Dr. Barbara Yaffe, Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health with the Provincial Ministry of Health. Officials say lab results were received Saturday afternoon. The man is in stable condition. While the case has been confirmed by a test in Toronto, officials said it has yet to complete separate testing by the National Microbiology Laboratory in Winnipeg. The illness can't be officially confirmed until the testing is completed. So, judging by what that just says here, the illness can't be officially confirmed until the testing is completed. But they just said here, Canada confirmed its first presumptive case of coronavirus. So you see, the media doesn't even know what they're talking about. First they're saying, yes, it is confirmed. Then 2 lines later it says it cannot be confirmed until the testing is completed. So why don't they just say, okay, presumptive? Why don't they just wait and say, it's a possibility, but we're not quite sure yet. This is how you put fear in people, by saying, oh yeah, he has it. And yet they're saying, well, they can't confirm that until the test is completed. So which is it? Then they're going to say, what do we know about the case? Officials said that the man took a flight on January 21st from Wuhan to Guangzhou, then from Guangzhou to Toronto, arriving on January 22nd. Another doctor from Canada's Chief Public Health Officer said the patient showed mild symptoms on the flight, but did not report his flu-like symptoms until arrival. He should be charged for that, actually. He is believed to have traveled privately from the airport to his home. Officials do not believe he took public transit. They have not said what part of the city the man lives in. I believe he is from North York, but I can't confirm that 100%, which is kind of just the northern part of Toronto for everybody else in the world that doesn't know where North York is. It's just outside of Toronto, I guess, before you hit another area code. So it's about 20 minutes from downtown Toronto. Upon arriving, he told family members he felt ill and called 911. Officials say paramedics arrived prepared, taking all necessary precautions right from first contact until the handoff to the hospital's emergency department on January 23rd. Let's see if there's a couple more messages here. My question, Devolve, let me show that one. My question might sound retarded, but I'll really consider it a huge part of the spreading with this new virus being due to the bad hygiene culture in China. I posted videos about that as well. People, eating bats, mice. There were some that were eating mice. It was pretty disgusting. I posted one today from a mother feeding her child tadpoles, live tadpoles. For what reason, I have no idea, but it's a culture shock that needs to be changed, I think, in order to avoid these things. But they were also saying it might be the lab that was 20 miles or something away from the fish market where this is all taking place. They don't really know where it came from. I'm sure the government does know, but we're not going to find out from them. Let's see here. Well, if Wuhan has epidemic, you have your possibly healthy people without access to food, etc. There's a big shortage of food in Wuhan. Not only that, I heard that if you want to buy even, let's say, a stick of celery or a celery stalk, you're looking at about $10. I posted another video where people were going to get gas, and the price of gas went up 10 times the regular amount. And it's not like they can even get out of their city now anyway. So it's a real bad situation, not just for the people that have it, but even the people that don't have it. I mean, where are they going to get their food from? Where are they going to be able to even if they want to get out, they can't. So let's see here. Canada knows what this disease can do. Why aren't they telling us? Huh. That's a good question. Why aren't they telling us? Why isn't the Chinese government telling their people? I guess because China's a bit more communist than Canada. But if we can't get that information, what can they tell us? Again, we watch like CP24 and CBC News, stuff like that. Sure, they tell us a bit more than the Chinese government, but definitely not enough. As I said, they don't show us the videos that are happening from inside China. They're just showing us what they want you to see. So it's up to you guys to make your own opinions. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like I'm being a narcissist or something and saying, don't watch the news, believe in yourself and what you want to think. But you gotta open wide and see the reality of it all. Don't just believe what they tell you to believe. Bry Wims says, not sure if it's necessarily an immune quality per individual, race, nationality, but they're packed like sardines as well as overpopulated. Plus, like poor food quality practices. Their immune system has got to be weakening by the minute, even if they don't have the disease. Knowing that your neighbor might have it and not being able to come in contact with anybody, it's a pretty scary thought. Deval is saying, where are you guys from? Myself, I'm from Canada, but where's everybody else from? Let's figure out where everybody's from here. Percy Noni says, report said that 5 million left China before quarantine, and who the hell is going to trust the Chinese government to tell the truth, as well as the World Health Organization? Anyone here old enough to remember the CDC cover-up and lies? The thing with that is, Percy, it's hard to talk to kids about this. Like, it is so crazily easy how you can get contact with this virus. I was having a discussion earlier today. It sounds like, okay, yeah, we could put on masks and cover ourselves up and be careful who you talk to. Don't like stand close to somebody who's coughing or sneezing. Tell me this much. If you go to a washroom, okay, and you have to get out of the washroom after you wash your hands, which is what you're supposed to do, you're touching the handle of the door to get out of the washroom, aren't you? What you should do is, of course, use gloves and whatnot. Say you're at McDonald's or Subway, wherever. You hand somebody the money to pay for your food. They give you change or whatever other money they're going to give you. And guess what? What if that money's infected by somebody who used it before you? What are you going to do? Use gloves to handle the money too? Are you going to use gloves to eat the food? So you see, it's not easy. It could happen just so easily without us even realizing it. And then what are you going to do? It's too late. You might not even find out until 2 weeks later, up to 2 weeks. That's what they're saying the incubation period is, up to 2 weeks. Let's see here. Brian Wim says, I'm broken for the people, but at what point is the world going to stop supporting the Chinese government? I understand the double-edged sword, but I would love for us to pull out of economically as much as possible. The problem with that is the U.S. has big trade with China. So if you do pull out, it's going to hurt a lot of businesses. Not only that, but the stock market, it'll be a disaster for businesses. And you know, and I know, that money talks, and money will rule the world, and it always will, unfortunately. Brian Wims also said, what the government is doing is terrible to its people, sad and inhumane. And unfortunately, they can't do anything about it. I showed a video 3 or 4 days ago about the second in command. He was up north, and he was coming out of some office or something, and there was a whole bunch of people around. And you can hear the security guy say, oh, he's coming out now, everybody clap. And it was like they were kissing his butt. For what reason? Because he's in power and they're scared. They have no choice. So if you thought North Korea was bad, I mean, look at these poor people. They're being controlled just as much as the North Koreans are. Again, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, it sure as heck looks like it. Think about the healthy people living in Wuhan. They have nowhere to go. They were blocked with sick people. How desperate they are. That's the problem. Now that there's 11 million, which is more than any city in the States. I think New York has 8 million people or something. I'm not sure, but I do know that Wuhan has more people in its city than any city in the States, which is unbelievable. There was a report, too, the other day that they said that because of the people spreading these videos out, they might try to block the internet from anybody accessing it in Wuhan. That would be a complete disaster. That would be the end, I think, for Wuhan at that point. Brian Wims is from Atlanta. Ikaras is from U.S. Tracy Littman, New York. Wow, a bunch of Americans here. Respect. Data Junkie, how can 5 million evacuate in a day? Maybe they are covering some of the deaths in that figure. I don't think 5 million are evacuating in the day. I think there's at least more than half still in Wuhan that cannot get out. Again, if you've seen the videos, you would see that every traffic street has been blocked. You can't get out. There are guards standing there. They'll shoot you if you even try it. So again, if that's not communist to the fullest, I don't know what is. But not also was it just in Wuhan. Apparently yesterday they shut down the Forbidden City in Beijing, which is a big tourist area. I heard that they also shut down all 70,000 movie theaters in all of China, which is the most movie theaters in any country in the world. What's really bad about that also is it's happening at the very worst time. This weekend is the Chinese New Year, and movie companies release their biggest movies of the year at this time. So they have also lost billions and billions of dollars. Shanghai Disneyland has also been shut down. A lot of places have been shut down where there's groups of people that can attend something. It's not happening. Devolve is from South Africa. Sulolo's in Italy. Oh, wow, okay. Data Junkie. I use a paper towel or my sleeves to exit a restroom. I'm just weird that way. You know what, Data Junkie? That's not weird at all, especially at this day and age. That's actually the smartest thing you can do. So I would not consider that weird in the least. Blender Master. Wow, they actually showing live footage of the hospital being built in China. Wuhan, China, CGTN. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't understand how they can build thousands of beds in a hospital so quick in a matter of a week. I don't know if that's true or if that's just the government putting out these videos saying, hey, look at us. We're doing what we can to save all the people in our country. Again, that's my opinion. I don't think it's true. I've seen the news. I just went to the next video. Spray everything down with alcohol water mix. Devolve. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. Again, you can never be too safe. Apparently, I also heard a story today that you can get it under your shoes, and if you bring your shoes inside and walk around, the dust particles can go in the air in your house, and they can go into your eyes. So it's a crazy thing to think about. Like, how many people just get inside the house, take off your shoes, and you leave it at the front door? Well, apparently the dust from the ground could come off your shoes and into your eyes while you're at home. So basically, you're not safe anywhere. And again, I'm not trying to put fear into people. This is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm fearing. All right. Exactly. Don't know if it's airborne. Clothing can be affected. Yep, that's true, Prissy. Nameless Voice is from Hawaii. It must be nice weather over there. Was there any cases in Hawaii yet? I don't think so. Hopefully not. Prissy Nani says, I was referring to earlier comment to how the CDC bungled and covered up the AIDS virus, causing many deaths due to tainted blood. Well, there was another story that I heard that even if they do have an injection for this virus, the injection itself can carry another virus, which will make it a double effect and make the virus even worse than it is currently. So I don't know what to say about that. Many people were born yet to remember I was a teen. The videos of streets being dug up, Bry Wims, yep. Bob Layden, Richmond, Virginia, nameless voice. Hawaii has exchange students from Wuhan currently visiting Oahu. The thing with that is also, yeah, the people that have been traveling, even before the lockdown, as I said earlier, it takes up to 2 weeks for the virus to kick in. So I know that they were checking people's temperature at the airport when they were leaving, and they didn't have a fever. Well, guess what? You could have it in about a week's time, and they've already gone from Wuhan, and who knows where they are in the world. I don't know if you guys heard the story about the lady who escaped Wuhan and went to France, and then she bragged about how she has it, but she was able to escape. And not for nothing, excuse my language, but that bitch should be arrested on sight. Again, I don't mean to swear, but I mean, that just really, really annoys me. Bob Layden, born and raised in RVA, Glen Allen. Sulolo, remember the young man from Wuhan posted video on YouTube asking for help. Do you think he will be in trouble? Which one was that? The one asking for help. Everybody's asking for help, but I mean, there was a video today of somebody screaming out the window, and there's nothing we can do. I don't know if he's going to be okay. Probably not, because the situation's not getting any better. It's only getting worse. Okay, so Bry Wim says, Sue Lolo, I have no doubt they'll try and hunt poor boy down. Yeah, the people that have been posting videos, I do worry for them, because especially if it's on WeChat, the government controls that, and they know every single word that comes out of everybody's message. It is really dangerous. I did post another video where a girl was talking today how she's in confinement because of things she said. You guys really got to be careful if you're in China what you're saying, unfortunately. Here's a message. I am in China, not in Wuhan. Where should I go? How can I save myself? Unfortunately, if I had the answer, I would give it to you. The best thing I could recommend right now is just stay home. I mean, hopefully you stocked up on food and water. But where are you from in China? Devolve says it's probably the easiest to stay home and stock up. Waiting this out is probably best. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. That's probably the best. But Devolve, you're in the States, right? If I remember correctly. Should be okay for us so far, but who knows. Data Junkie, in China, I would store up some food and stay indoors until this outbreak burns itself out. Yep, agree with you completely. Thoughts with your country. Hey, Bry Wims, you know what? Thoughts with everybody's country right now. I hope everybody can stay safe. Sunan Tag says, okay, why does my message keep getting auto-deleted? Let me see if I can scroll up and see. If you want to resend the message, and hopefully it's not a swearing in it or something, because it will, or if you have a link in it, it won't show up. Data Junkie says, in China I would store, okay, I read that one. I don't know, Sunantag. Usually it's due to a bad connection. Could be a bad connection, or like I said, it could be either you're sending a link or there might be a swear word in it. But resend it and let's see what happens. Sulolo says, so many people wearing masks, but they are all sick. So I think the virus is much stronger than our thinking. People should wear masks even if they don't have the virus. That's what I recommend. I went to a few places yesterday, and again, this is in Canada. Went to 3 different stores, and they've all sold out. The mask we're looking for is called N95. So in case anybody is out and about tomorrow, look for a mask which is N95 made by 3M. That is the one you're wanting. It's the best one to protect you from this virus. As I said, I checked 3 different places, and they were all sold out. There was about 5 or 6 Chinese people also in the pharmacies looking for them, and they couldn't find them either. So they had a bunch of hand sanitizer, but the masks themselves, it's really hard to find. I also did a few searches on Amazon, and I saw one seller selling a mask for $200. This is not the time to profit off of something like this. But you're asking, should I buy more food at home? I would definitely try to stock up as much as possible, at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Until we can hopefully find out more about this serious situation. But Wim says that Sulolo, and because of pathogen, I believe, it's being transmitted through eyes too. Yeah, that's what I was saying about the shoes and the dust particles floating through the air. It can very easily go through to the eyes. So not only are we going to need a mask, we're going to need goggles pretty soon too. I'm telling you, everybody's going to walk around with a hazmat suit. It's ridiculous. This is like Contagion. I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie, but Contagion is a movie I would recommend watching. It's pretty freaky. Uh, Chrysanthemum is from a chrysanthemum is from Loganville, Georgia. That a junkie. They need wraparound glasses. They're also getting infected in the mucous membranes of the eyeballs. Yep, that's true. So I keep seeing it subbed with them saying 70% mortality rate. Bri Wims, I missed this story of the escapee. Which escapee was that? The one, oh, the French? Yeah, I think if you just Google French, let me see if I can pull it up here. Hold on. Wuhan escapes to France. I think it was France. French citizen to be busted. Wuhan. Well, here it is. Wuhan woman cheated coronavirus checks to fly out from Michelin-starred meal in France. Let me see if this is the one. But yeah, there was. Here we go. I'll read it for you guys. A Chinese woman has sparked online ire for boasting that she evaded coronavirus health checks despite having a fever to fly to France to dine in a Michelin-starred restaurant. The Chinese embassy in Paris said it had tracked down the woman from Wuhan, who it called Mrs. Yan, and who boasted that she took tablets to pass airport health checks. On social media, she said she had been suffering from a fever, but managed to mask her symptoms with medicine and travel to Lyon, southeastern France, for a slap-up gastronomic meal. Recounting her journey on WeChat, she wrote, Finally, I can have a good meal. I feel like I've been starving for 2 days. When you are in a gourmet city, of course you have to eat, I think it's Michelin food. She added, just before I left, I had a low fever and cough. I was scared to death and rushed to eat fever-reducing medicine. I kept on checking my temperature. Luckily, I managed to get it down and my exit was smooth. She also posted pictures of her meal. It must be nice, eh? I can't believe that she wasn't. You know what? She should be shot, arrested and shot. But anyways, that's my opinion. Her post swiftly went viral, and she was widely criticized by other social media users as selfish, irresponsible, and posing a health threat. I would say criminal. One Chinese Twitter user wrote, "We Chinese are so angry about the girl. This virus is not what we want to bring to any other nations. My family remained in Wuhan, didn't escape. I'm so worried about them, but I think what they did was right. Don't bring this to other nations and other people." The embassy later confirmed that her symptoms were under control. Yeah, as usual. She claimed that in the past few days, she has taken her temperature regularly and that now she no longer has any fever or cough symptoms, and it said in a statement. Again, it takes up to 2 weeks, and there's no way she can be cured just like that. She confirms that she has already phoned 15 for emergency medical care, and that French medical services told her that without symptoms of fever or pain, she doesn't need to be examined. I don't know where they're thinking. Here's a picture of the quick spread of the coronavirus by dates. Let's see what else. See, so this is what I'm saying. She did try to escape. She did escape, and she knew she had it, and yet she's bragging about how she had to eat a gourmet meal. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. Let's see here. Sulolo, I saw people pass out suddenly, and before that, they are acting normally. So scary. I posted a video of a person just standing along a fence, and then 2 seconds later, they were starting to walk, and they just dropped to the ground. Again, if you guys appreciate the live chat, the live feed I'm doing here, I'd appreciate if you guys do subscribe, and you can see all the videos. I will continue to post them daily. As much as I can until there aren't any more videos that are allowed to be posted from China outwards. But I will continue to post them. So yeah, if you guys do subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Hit the bell notification so you would be updated when I do post new videos. And yeah, I'd appreciate each and every one of you doing that for me. And also give this video a thumbs up when you have time, if you can. Yeah, what should I do? I'm in, I think it's Chongqing. Chongqing. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I didn't say it properly. How far is that from Wuhan? Um, Again, the only recommendation I could say is just for now, if you can stay home, do just that. Just make sure you stocked up on food, and if you do have any family members, make sure you tell them as well to stay safe and what precautions they can do to do just that. Brian Wim says, in the States, we went to Harbor Freight today and bought those masks that are full face shields. Were those the ones that were the N95? And if so, how much did you pay for them? I'm curious. A lot of British scientists are saying that there are over 100,000 cases and people are not reporting them because some symptoms are not showing up. And over 5 million have escaped Wuhan before the quarantine. I wouldn't be surprised if it was over 100,000 by now. The government, I'm going to go and show you guys here. There's a website called BNO News. It shows you the timeline for the coronavirus. I'm going to refresh it right now. Apparently, there was 2,808 confirmed cases since 9 o'clock, which was about 2 hours ago. It's now been updated. 11 o'clock, it shows 2,809 confirmed cases worldwide, including 80 fatalities. Now, again, that's reporting from each of these countries, like Hubei province, Guangdong province, shows you 423 cases from Hubei, 221 serious, 69 critical. So 76 deaths in Hubei, which is Wuhan, one in Shanghai, one in Henan province, one in Heilongjiang province, another one in Hebei province. So that's 80. And apparently none outside of China. Thailand has 8 cases, Singapore 4, France 3, Malaysia 4, Japan 4, South Korea 4, United States 5, Vietnam 2, Nepal 1, Australia 4. You see, it doesn't even say the one about Canada yet. So I don't think it's been confirmed that they have the coronavirus. So again, we don't really know what to believe because some are saying that he has it, some are saying he doesn't have it yet. We got to make sure. So then why even report it? You know what I mean? Why even say that he has it? It says here, it's best to get foods that last for a long time. Rice and beans. Also get crates of bottled water just in case. Exactly, Devolve. And also soup. Soup would never, you can never go wrong with soup. Just whatever you do, don't start with the bat soup, all right? I wasn't kidding about that either. And wear wraparound goggles. Yeah, that's another thing. It's going to be crazy what people are going to have to wear just to protect themselves, but we got to do what we got to do. Any suggestions or links for goggles from Devolve? All right. Well, I know, like I said, I did check on Amazon for the masks. As far as the goggles go, I don't know. Goggles to prevent coronavirus. Let's see what we can find. I don't think we're going to find anything in our side of the world anyway. See, like Toronto Sun, which is a newspaper here in Toronto, says face mask for protection against Chinese coronavirus. They're not even thinking that's going to work. I don't see anywhere where you can buy them. Let me go to Amazon but I don't even know what to search for. I mean, you can type in goggles, and I'm sure they're going to have different types of goggles, but nothing for coronavirus, I don't think, anyways. So the thing with that is you would have to buy the goggles probably from like AliExpress or something, and now you can't even do that because it's going to be coming from China, and that's the last thing you want to do is order anything from China. So goggles, I honestly don't know. If anybody can help out here in the chat and let us know where we can get these goggles from, that'd be great. But as far as the masks go, again, let me know if you guys do find them, how much they were, and how many you were able to buy. I'm in Chongqing, 860 kilometers from Wuhan, but so many people from Wuhan escaped, around 5 million people. I am scared. Again, the only precautions you can take is just stay home for now. The junkie says, I suspect the governments are supplying mask orders because they just vaporized from being listed. The only things I've seen people selling them on the black market, and even reused ones, which was really disgusting. Let's see here. I might be panic buying relating to the news breaking. Devolve. Data Junkie. Channel Dr. Barry lists one on Amazon for $11. $11. Devolve. Good news, guys. In an hour and a half, I can go raid the store for a respirator. More than 5 million. Want to see if anyone can translate it to see if them saying 70% is legitimate, because that sounds like an impossible number. Yes, I heard the quarantine was announced the night before it was enforced, so 5 million fled. That's true data. I want to fly to other places. Data Junkie said, did you see a lot of traffic exiting Wuhan and Chongqing? There are more than 2 private cars in my living neighborhood. Oh, what I want to ask you, the person that's living in Chongqing, are they still using Didi, or has that been shut down in your city as well? I heard that Didi, Uber, and Lyft are all been shut down in Wuhan. Is it the same in your city? Chrysanthemum says, any goggle or eye protection that will seal. I watched a vlog from an Irish guy living in Wuhan, and he used his swimming goggles and masks to go out to stock up. I guess swimming goggles will work. Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive, but as long as they're sealing the outer part of your eye, I guess that would be okay. That sounds good. I guess standard medical goggle will do the trick. The person from Chongqing says, 30 kilometers away from my town, 70 people were hit by the virus. Data Junkie. Traveling in China, I suspect, is not safe. It increases exposure. I would get a lot of groceries and stay home. Have enough to last for months just in case. I agree. Bri Wim says, no, not the N95. The plastic full face visor shield is what we found. Ones you see doctors wearing in your vids. I don't think that would work as well as the N95, because the masks that you see still have some open areas around the nose. The N95, you can actually push around the nose where it'll close it even tighter so that there's no way any particles can get into your nose. That's why I'm suggesting the N95. Data, many thanks. I'm going to buy more food online. Again, you got to be careful where you're buying the food from, though, especially if you're in China. I bought N95 masks when this story first broke and bought for cheap. Now sold out on Amazon, as I'm sure you know. Yeah, Bri Wims. And if you do find them online, you're going to be paying, just like the Wuhan people, 10 times the amount of anything, especially masks. Sulolo, but on the other side, if you stay and wait for government to block your city and you are healthy and you know there will be no medicine, no help, will you stay where you are? Well, where are you going to go? You can't, if you're in Wuhan, you can't get out anyway. So if you're going to go out, it's just going to be worse for you, right? Nameless Voice says, no cases in Hawaii yet, but N95 masks at Home Depot are very low. We purchased safety goggles. Devolve says, those visors are good, but you want an airtight seal around your eyes, though. Yeah, that's those goggles, like the swimming goggles. I think that'll work, because I guess when you go swimming and the racing, the people that do the swimming racing, right? They have those kind of goggles where the water can't get in their eyes, so they might work. Again, I'm not sure. In Canada, can't confirm it yet, because they said that there's a possibility he might have it. They're gonna find out, I guess, and let us know tomorrow, being Monday. Yes, you have to keep your mucous membranes protected. Yeah, and they're very, very fragile as well. Yes, Evolve, we bought the goggles too, just an extra precaution that shields entire face. BC Harwa, welcome to the channel. He says, people should really worry about the economic impact of this. John Hopkins simulation shows most of the 900 million fatalities as a result of economic and social collapse. That's what I was saying. If you close the trade with China, especially the States, there'll be massive, massive repercussions, even with the stock market. It could be another crash. Very easily, just like back in, I think it was 1929, was the Great the Depression or whatever it was. Nameless Voice says, we plan on taking them to make sure there is a seal. Chrysanthemum, notice in the beginning the doctors didn't have eye protection and got sick because they didn't know fully about the virus. Bri Wims, everyone work on keeping your immune system up too. Data Junkie, Dr. Berry, as a medical professional, recommended this from Amazon. No cry safety glasses with clear anti-fog scratch, resistant wraparound lenses, and no slip grips. Are they still available? And how much are they? Tom LTC, best place to go pick up everything would be a paint store in your area. I was going to check. We have a Home Depot, which is kind of like, I don't know what's comparable in the States. Do you guys have Home Hardware? But they didn't have any in stock either. Some places had low supply, but when you click on the link, it showed sold out. In your opinion, do you think that the virus will get far worse? Leon Nombre, I believe, is getting worse by the second, unfortunately. Some of us are not exactly opposed to the changing of times. Should I buy a ticket to Tibet? Are you still allowed to fly out of your city? I'm not sure what the situation is there, but I don't know if flying to another country is going to work right now. Again, I don't even know if your airport's closed down. Who knows? Sinantag, the guy from Canada was symptomatic before he got on the airplane, and the government is asking people from the plane to turn themselves in instead of getting them. The thing with that, Sinantag, if people from the plane that were on the same plane as this guy, they will already have records of everybody that's on the same flight as anybody. They have the records at the airport. When they board the flight, they have everybody's name, where they're from their passport and everything else. So it would be easy to track them down. But the problem is they should have done that with everybody in Wuhan before they left. Now it's way too late. You know how many people left from Wuhan? They might not have had the virus before they left, and they could always get it even a week after or 2 weeks after they're gone. This is where the problem is. This guy was there, and then he knew he had it. Some people might not know they have it until they're already gone from Wuhan, and who knows where they are, and then they get it a week later, and they could spread it to other people, and nobody will know it until they have it. You see, that's the problem. Data Junkie says, Tibet, that's your call. Personally, the last place I would be is in an airplane because they recycle the air. Exactly, you don't know who the other people are in there, and if they have it or not. Even if they don't have it now, they could have it down the road. I bought more than 500 masks. Well, then you should be okay. As long as you got the right ones and you're using it properly, you should be okay where you are. Just, again, stay indoors. Don't go to the airport and get on a plane and take a chance. It's really not worth it. Devolve says, besides a visor, goggles, and mask, what other items did you guys get in preparation? I'm thinking down the road, the only other thing you're gonna need or want is a hazmat suit. But that's all that's left. That'll cover your whole body. Pretty soon we're gonna be like a spaceman, cover up everything. Unfortunately, and it sounds like a joke, but it's reality. Secret Stuff says mask NIOSH N95 0.3 microns protection. Virus 0.1 microns in size. I know, but what else? What else can we do? Devolve saying to the person in Chongqing, if you travel now, you risk more exposure than staying home. Yep, that's exactly what I was saying. Chrysanthemum, you can also buy the protective suits on Amazon or from healthcare supply websites. Protective suits, I guess you're talking about the hazmat suit, right? Let me check for hazmat suit. But I mean, it might come to this. I don't know if it's here yet. But this is what a hazmat suit looks like, and I'm sure you've seen it in the videos. See, like the fourth one here, the aluminum foil one. It looks like a spaceman. And I don't know if you guys watched E.T. back in the day, when they were transporting E.T. into to check out for viruses or anything else. They had those hazmat suits, but in a lot of the videos I've been posting, you can see the hazmat suit as well. The junkie, I'll add those to my list along with sanitizer. Definitely hand sanitizer should be the first thing you guys get, and use it often. Bleach, alcohol. Chongqing person says, by the way, Chongqing person, I know your name is in Chinese. What is your English name? Just so I could say it properly. I don't want to keep saying the Chongqing person, As you said, the only way I can do is staying at home and buying more food at home. I have not left my house for 4 days. You know what? Unfortunately, this is the only best solution right now. I know it's going to be like very, very frustrating, but can you imagine the people that are in a hospital and have absolutely nowhere to go, and their time is really ticking. So it's tough to stay home for 4 days straight or whatever, but at the same time, you got to think about what it's like out there. So just be thankful that you are at home and definitely stay there. Yes, they're available $11, $11, not airtight, but the doctors use them. At secret stuff, but the virus does not float through the air. It needs to attach to moisture particles. It's probably that those particles are larger than 0.3 microns. Chrysanthemum says Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace Hardware, etc. in the U.S. Oh, okay, thanks. I thought it was Home Hardware, but I guess that's a Canadian company as well. Home Depot, that's where we went to check for masks as well. Sold out. The mask will get wet as you breathe. I bought alcohol, goggles, and face mask, hand mask, food mask, VC pills. Yeah, you sound like you're pretty stocked up, so I mean, you are taking the proper precautions. Sulolo says, what about Shanghai? As I know, Shanghai is a mega city. Shanghai has shut down a few places. They've shut down the main, like I said, the movie theaters, Disneyland or Disney World. I don't know which one they have. One person has passed in Shanghai at last check. I'm going to refresh this. I don't think there'll be a new update. Shows 80 fatalities as of 11 p.m., which was about 45 minutes ago. It's been updated 1 minute ago. It still shows 80 fatalities. Again, this website is not official, but it does kind of break it down as to what's happened. It still shows Shanghai has got 53 cases, 1 death, but I've heard from an inside source that 32 people have passed in Shanghai. Again, that's not confirmed, but that's what I've heard. 32, not 1. Sunantag, I know they have the names of everyone in the plane, but the government needs to find them right away instead of asking them to come at their convenience. If he hasn't got the virus, though, there is no point in asking all these other people to come forward. We don't know what he has yet. So I think after they find out, that's when they will take the next step. Again, it's already too late, though. For what about all the other people? We're talking about the one in Toronto. What about everybody else? Sulolo, really hope the scientists can find the cures as fast as they can. The one that trended for the video that I showed, one of the first ones, was the doctor who was on the phone. It got me, I don't know, I think almost 500,000 views, and it just shows you that even the doctors don't know what to do. He was having a nervous breakdown. All he wanted to do was spend time with his family for the Chinese New Year, and he's working around the clock, and he looked like he was about to drop, and not from the virus, just from trying to help everybody. So I don't know what the solution is for that. BC Harwa says Wuhan is a critical transportation hub. Shanghai and Guangdong ports are the place to keep an eye on in the next 5 days. They get quarantined, the impact would be real. They were also, Carrie Lam, who runs Hong Kong, was saying that she's under pressure to get the port shut down so that she doesn't allow anybody in from China. And that so far has not happened. So again, it would be too late. Even if she does shut it down now, people would have already have been in there. Data Junkie says, hazmat suit, you are supposed to throw away and use a new one each day, I think. Seems like a lot of trouble. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to stay safe. Ricardox10, young Chinese says, China politicians leave us alone to death. Chongqing, oh, okay, David. All right, so I'll start calling you David from now on. Hopefully I can remember that. Thanks. D17 Tom, I was saying like Kelly Moore Paints or something like that, a contractor's paint store. Yeah, did you already check them out and see if they have this stuff? Devolve, David, if you have enough stocks of food and water, the best thing would be to maintain your good health by not exposing yourself to the outside world. Exactly, David. Take people's suggestions. Just stay home for now. Devolve, until there is more clarity about what's going on and how bad the situation is. David, thanks. I would buy more protective suits. If you must leave the house for supplies, then make sure to suit up and wear all protective gear. Also, don't come into contact with other people as they could transmit it to you. That's the thing. Even if you have family members, just make sure you tell them to stay indoors and not to go out or contact anybody. You really don't know who has it. David says, thanks. I would buy more protective suits if you must. Yeah. D17, can you get those paint supplies at the hardware stores too? Leon Nombre says, do you think we'll be able to find a cure? SARS was cured, H1N1, all those other ones, Ebola, eventually there was a cure. It's going to take time. There will be a cure, I'm sure, but the only question is when and how late will it be? I think if there is a cure, it was already developed in one of those many secret labs. Just my humble opinion. That was Data Junkie. Chrysanthemum agrees. David says, Devolve, I met this situation for the first time. My mom and my family still want to go out. I stopped her twice. I am hopeless. David, how old are you, if I may ask? Force altruism. Welcome to the channel. In my estimation, definitely try to protect yourself from the virus. But if you actually end up getting it, just make sure you are staying hydrated and boosting your immune system with vitamins. Again, as long as you got all that stuff at home, and especially for the Chinese people, if they have it at home, then they're not too worried. But if you have to go out and get it, I don't know how you're going to do that. Sunan Tag, though, does anyone know of the video of the 5 nurses talking to the camera all at once? Which video was that? The 5 nurses talking to the camera at once. What were they saying? D17 Tom says, yes, but people are less likely to go to a paint store. Well, I mean, if the hardware store doesn't have it, then you'd have to check the paint store. I think that's what they were saying. Sue Lolo says, even the new hospital will be built soon. I don't think it has enough beds or have enough doctors for people. To be honest with you, Sue Lolo, I don't even think there's a hospital to begin with. I think that's a bunch of crap. Chinese government stories showing you, yeah, look at us, we're doing all we can. I just think there's a hole in the ground. Again, that's just my opinion. Data Junkie, I had viral pneumonia last month, so not this powerful strain, but Mucinex 1200 milligrams helped for what it's worth. Who knows if that would work for this? I'm sure they've tried different things over in China, but I don't know what would work, what wouldn't work. I don't think there is any kind of prescription or medicine or anything right now that will cure it. The only thing that people can do is just be in containment, and that's what they're trying to do. But it's almost impossible. As I said, it's these cases aren't even these numbers. I would add a 0 to every one of them, and the deaths, I think, is nowhere near what they're saying, including Wuhan, 76 deaths, and yet all those people that I've showed you in the videos, in the hospitals, on the streets, they're dropping. People eating these infectious animals, they're going to get it if they don't have it already. How could you? There was a video I saw. I didn't post it because I just thought it was too disgusting. A guy was eating live mice and enjoying it. It wasn't a joke. It was real. You'd have to think, how do these people not get disease? You know what I mean? I don't want to sound rude, but eating those kind of things is it's just a matter of time. D17 Tom, I am a contractor. They have paint spray suits, goggles, etc. for their air-powered paint sprayers. Sunan Tag says, the video was the nurses saying it was 70% fatality and they would give their patients good deaths. The video was the nurses saying it was 70% fatality. Yeah, I don't know what video that was. If it was from, where did you see that video exactly? Was it from WeChat, or was it from YouTube, or just somebody posting it? There have been a lot of fake videos too, so you guys got to watch out for that. There's been a lot of that also. David, 28 years old, an English teacher in Chongqing. How long have you been there? Agent Toast says, how do we not know we're not being told the truth about the death toll? Because of course they're going to try to downplay it to prevent more panic. Agent Toast, this is exactly what I'm saying. I would not believe, again, I don't want you guys to think that, I know everything or whatever. This is most of my opinions, but from what I've learned from China, the numbers are never anywhere close to what they say. always add at least 1 or 2 zeros to the number that they gave you. Okay, think about it. They said that 86 people died in Wuhan so far. Really? 86? That's it? Come on, guys. You and I both can do better math than that, right? D17 Tom. Anyhow, just giving extra options for people in need. Exactly. Paint stores, hardware stores, whatever you guys have to do. Try to find it and use it for your own sake. Forced altruism. Saw some articles saying that HIV retroviral medications are helping some patients as well. Again, you're going to get all kinds of articles and people giving you what they want you to read. I don't know, like if you can give me the source as to where you read that article, it would help out. Sue Lolo, oh my God, I hope people stay calm when I am walking on the street because I have an Asian face. Well, that's I don't think, sorry for laughing, but no, I don't think that it matters. I mean, it could be white, black, Chinese, whatever, green, alien, it doesn't matter. Anybody could have it. It does. No. The guy that was in Wuhan and came to Toronto, we don't even know if he was a Chinese guy for sure, right? So it's got nothing to do with the race. Don't worry about that. Sunantag says it was on a live stream and I can't find it. Yeah, see, so who knows what it was? Could have been real, could have been fake. I don't know. I didn't see the video myself, so I can't say. Devolve saying at forced altruism, until it becomes immune to those antiretrovirals, and we are all doomed. Data junkie. Rumor is the lab's security guards were selling lab animals to wet market when they were supposed to destroy them. Possible. I've heard worse. Okay, Ricardox 10. I'll show your message. China government is like Hitler. New Auschwitz concentration camp in Wuhan. Very sad. The government might be even worse. I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get in for saying this kind of stuff, but I'm just agreeing with you. Forced altruism. I'll see if I can find it. All right, great. Oh, yes, David saying I am living in Chongqing. Yeah, but how long ago have you arrived there, and how long have you been there? Exo Desert. How likely is the virus to come to the U.S. and start taking over? We got to start prepping for the great natural selection event. You know what, Exo Desert? Things like stations like CNN, Fox News, they're not going to give you any information. Again, they just want you to hear what they tell you. I would be more fearful than what they're letting on. Because as I've posted, those videos are the ones that you're not going to see on the news. That's the real deal. That's really what's going on. So anybody who did get out of Wuhan, which are millions and millions of people, they could be anywhere in the world, and it could spread after they left. After 2 weeks, or within 2 weeks of them leaving, they can get the virus, and it could start spreading from there. Again, I don't want to put fear into people, but that is the reality, and that is what can happen. Devolve at Sulolo says, just don't cough around them and everything is fine. Ha 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 ha. Well, I mean, yeah, anytime I'm out and I hear somebody coughing, I'm totally running the other way. David says, pardon. To which one? Dylan, any info on chance strain was lab engineered and experimental animals made it to the market? It's definitely possible. And I don't know if you guys seen any videos about the market. Those animals all look infected to begin with. I don't know how they got away with selling them for so long. But there's a lot of markets like that in China, but especially in Wuhan, where the animals do look already diseased and infected, and people just keep on buying them. If you guys, look up some videos on Chinese markets. And there was a story actually in Toronto about 3 weeks ago. There was a fish market. I'm not going to name the place because that's just shunning the place, but there was a fish market down in about 20 minutes from where I live. They got busted for selling rotten fish. And basically what they would do is they would swap the fish that you can see, like, I want this one or that one or whatever. Go to the back, give you an old fish, and it was already like decayed and just rotten. You could see the color wasn't even right. And they would sell that, and they got caught and busted for that. So it's happening everywhere. Leon Number says, I'm kind of confused. Is the virus only infecting Chinese people? No, it's anybody that was in that area could have been infected. It doesn't matter what nationality or race you are. Nothing to do with the race. D17 Tom says 2-week incubation possible and contagious during the whole 2 weeks spells disaster. Exactly, and especially with the fact that you've heard that maybe 5 million people have already left Wuhan. XL Desert 5 in the USA. XL Desert 5 in the US as of right now. I'm a Warlock says, I absolutely agree that their numbers are suspect or even outright false. I'm an economist by training in the US, but I was born in Wuhan. Yeah, their numbers are never right. As I said, there's been numerous disasters happen in China, and the numbers were way, way off as far as the number of deaths. Devolvat Leon Nambra says, so far it's only Chinese, but some people who traveled to China recently might be infected. David, can everybody not speak some advanced words? I can't understand all the words. Well, David, I'll try to, not be so technical. I don't think I was, but maybe I'll try to speak slower or something to help you out. If you have any questions, though, definitely, you can repeat your question, or if you don't know what somebody's talking about, ask, and we'll definitely help you out. Sulolo, LOL, I will try. Yeah, don't cough. Conrad Black, yeah, no, this is obvious. They allowed them to get out. Part of the government, I guess. I'm a Warlock. They've scrubbed my friends and family's WeChat posts, the ones with hospitals asking for supplies. They are really, really strict when it comes to WeChat. I know for a fact that even if we're here in Canada and we type something bad about anything to do with the police or government in China, we step foot in China, we'll get arrested. Even if we're here in Canada right now and just bashing them, we'll be arrested as soon as we land at the airport. And good luck trying to get out of the country after. That's pretty scary. And you're telling me it's not as bad as North Korea? Well, Conrad Black says this is already spread. Yep, exactly. Conrad Black, people who are infected cannot even have symptoms. XL Desert says that secret stuff. I know, but could we possibly survive? How likely is this to take over the U.S.? If it's this big in China, I'm saying it's already half that big in the United States. So if 5 million people escape Wuhan, it could easily be up to 1 million by the end of next week. Again, I don't know. That's just me saying. I don't have any facts or figures, but if you do the math, 5 million people escaped. Who knows how many of them have a virus? Say even one has it. 1 out of 5 million. Okay, and they come in contact with another and another and another. It just spreads. That's how it spreads, right? It goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. You get the point. So it's scary. Conrad Black says this guy's 100% right. Leon Nombre, devolve. Okay, thank you for the info. Dylan says I don't believe the numbers of the government, and Dylan, it's good because you shouldn't believe the numbers. They're not right. No way. Conrad Black, it's actually worse than anyone knows. Obviously, that a junkie at I'm a Warlocks. As an economist, you would know they would not cripple to economies of all those cities if only 56 had died. Devolve at I'm a Warlocks. Is there restrictions on the internet usage at the moment? I'm guessing there is a lot of censorship. From what I know, there's no Google or YouTube or anything like that in all of China. But in Wuhan, there was a rumor going on that if people continue to post videos of what's going on inside of Wuhan, that they will shut down the internet. And that's, like I said before, that's pretty freaky. If that happens, Wuhan's done. I'm a Warlock. So the US CDC has also public ally said they do not trust the Chinese government's reported numbers. No one should trust those numbers. Again, my opinion. Dylan says, at Conrad Black, trying to speak simply for non-English natives. I'm a Warlocks. We know they need to be on the ground to accurately count this. David says, over 100,000 were injured. Dylan, I understand. Devolve says, apparently the issue with the case numbers is that they run out of virus test kits. So according to CCP logic, if it's not been confirmed via testing, it's not added to the tally. A Warlock says, what's worse, some stupid 5G or hundreds of millions of people unable to travel? That's even worse. Anything's worse. Once you get the virus, everything is just bad. Secret Stuff says to XL Desert, I am sure the question was asked with each pandemic. Take it serious and live. Be relaxed and become a statistic. I'm a Warlock. You shut down the world's factory. Conrad Black says, times whatever they say by 20. Exactly. Just add a few zeros after whatever number they give you. At least a few zeros. XO Desert says at Secret Stuff, I ordered a hazmat gas mask and ton of water bottles and non-perishable canned foods prepared to live it out in my home. Devolve says, God forbid people have to go back to looking after themselves or growing their own food or living without luxuries. Sunantag, China Wuhan coronavirus leaked video by Ivan Drago at 2:24. Su Lolo, people in Wuhan, pray for you. Doctors and nurses in Wuhan. You are guardian angels. Pray for you guys too. Yeah, there's never been any credit given really to the doctors and nurses and the people, the poor people. We keep thinking about, oh, are we safe? Are we safe? What about those people in Wuhan and the doctors and nurses who, just before this went about their daily lives, not even thinking about such a thing, So let's hope that this can get controlled and somehow lives can be saved instead of destroyed. And thank God for the doctors and nurses who aren't doing it just because, to be good people, but they're also being forced to do it. I appreciate the people that are doing it for the goodness of their hearts, not because the government is telling them to do it. Those are the good people. Dylan says, I'm reading the RO is at least 2.8. Is that R0, I guess? So almost 3 for every 1 infected. This plus the latency is what makes me so worried. Secret Stuff at XL Desert says, I have been a prepper for over 20 years. Heck, I built a bunker. I have video on it. Gas mask would be more protection. Yeah, I also seen a video of somebody wearing a gas mask. That was full protection. He was actually on the subway in Wuhan, and he was wearing a gas mask. That was actually the smartest thing I see. David says, thank you. Devolve at Secret Stuff. That's the right kind of prepping. Yeah, exactly. Conrad Black says, guys, when you have to seen a place as large shutdown like China, you really think it's 80 people? You can't be this naive. That's what I'm saying. It's nowhere close to 80. My guess is 100,000, but that's just my guess. But no way 80. That's a joke. That's almost an insult to humanity to say that. Kama Luan Salani says, I work in a mall in Hawaii with an influx of mainland Chinese tourists. Some have admitted they left and spent New Year's here to avoid flu. 5 different families have called it the flu to me. Yeah, we don't really know if they have it or not, but it is definitely spreading and spreading fast. XL Desert at Secret Stuff says, I wasn't planning on prepping until now. This reminds me of Outbreak. I don't want to go outside to school now, but I don't want to ruin my life either. Yeah, well, it's better safe than sorry right now. We got to do what we got to do. If you value life that much, I mean, it's not ruining it. You're saving it by, protecting yourself as much as you can right now. Su Lolo says, if such a low number of sick and died, why Chinese government build 2 new hospitals? Why block the city? Again, the thing about the hospitals is I don't even think they built them. All right, I think that's all brainwashing. Okay, the Chinese people, the outside world. Let's see once these 2 buildings have been built. I don't understand how you can build 2 buildings so fast in a matter of 6 days. A whole building with that many beds, that many people in it, all the doctors and nurses. Where are they going to come from? They're going to come from the other hospital? Are they just going to come from other cities? I mean, let's be realistic. I don't believe these 2 new hospitals will be built. And even if they did, to be honest with you, it might be more like a cemetery to put the bodies in, because I don't know where you're going to get all these doctors and nurses and everything else. Secret Stuff at XL Desert says, but I understand people who got Ebola was because they did not remove the suit correctly. It takes two people to remove it, or you ended up with it. True. Mariz says, this virus is a bioweapon, and people suspect it's a tool for population control for worldwide. That can also be true. Who knows? I mean, there's so much speculation. So many things could be true. I don't want to say what might be right, what might be wrong. We can only go on what we feel. Conrad Black says that wasn't a rumor, it's truth. Okay. I'm going to devolve. I'm going to show your message here. It says, perhaps it's a bioweapon. Perhaps the Chinese government is just retarded. It could be both. Mariz, only governments know the truth, and they won't tell you if it's truly a population control. Yeah, the only one that knows that would be that Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Xi Jinping, or whatever his name is. Okay, that was kind of rude, but you know what? It's just a matter of frustration. Just seeing all these poor people, and it's just trying to speak for them, I guess. Fenny Urban Homesteader says, you tell them, Secret. Seriously, everyone should be prepared, just in case. Conrad Black, journalists weeks before were thrown in jail for trying to report on the virus before it got bad. And that's another reason why the journalists aren't even allowed to go to China and report on what's really going on, because then the truth would really get out. So again, all the news you're hearing from China, if it's not from people's WeChat or their own personal private videos, it's from the government. I posted a video that showed a girl on a bed with the 4 or 5 nurses or doctors, I believe, around her. And she's like, hey, look at me. Thank you to all the nurses and the doctors. I'm so much better now. You know what? If you really had the virus, you wouldn't have that much energy to show how better you were. So I believe that video came from the Chinese government. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check back on my videos. You'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, so what do we got here? XL Desert says that Secret Stuff, there's a vaccine that has a high success rate for Ebola. Ebola wasn't that scary because symptoms showed fast and it killed the victims too fast. Secret Stuff at XL Desert says, have you noticed they are shutting the schools down in the USA? All schools in my area are closed. Where is that, Secret Stuff? What city are you in? Dylan at Mariz says, I don't believe leaked intentionally. You are joking, right? They are shutting down schools in the U.S. This is the first I've heard of this as well. Deval says, things are going south quickly. Bash E2 says, do you think it's going to hit Anaheim Hills? If it's going to hit the States, it's going to hit everywhere. I don't think it's going to hit a particular area. Just like it hit Wuhan. It's not just in Wuhan, it's all of China. Conrad Black says, schools are already being closed in the GTA in Canada. Parents are talking in Facebook groups. Gas masks are already sold out in Canada. Stores. People aren't as stupid as they used to be. Yeah, like I said earlier, we did check for gas masks. Just regular N95 masks yesterday, and all 3 stores were sold out. And the one I saw online was selling it for 10 times the amount. But I haven't heard anything about schools being closed in Canada. I haven't heard about it in the States, but I for sure haven't heard about it in Canada. I'll have to check that out. Let me quickly check that out. One sec, guys. That would be something because, again, they only said so far that one person, but they didn't even know if that one person has it yet. Canada coronavirus schools. Let's see if I find anything. I just typed in their Google, Canada coronavirus schools. GTA schools, parents ask families to stay isolated. Let me pull up this article and we'll see what it says. But if it's reaching Canada, and states have 5 reported cases and Canada still has this possibly 1, then I would think that the American schools would close before the Canadian ones. Let's see here. Parents and school officials from across the Greater Toronto area are expressing concerns after learning that a man in Toronto Hospital has been diagnosed with Canada's first presumptive case of coronavirus. Health officials confirmed the first presumptive positive case of coronavirus known as 2019 NCOV at Sunnybrook Hospital on Saturday. Okay, we know about that. Let's see where it says anything about a school. The principal of Somerset Academy, a private school in Markham, which is just north of Toronto, sent a letter home to parents this weekend saying that families who have traveled to Asia should stay home for a minimum of 15 days. Okay, so again, that's if the kids or families have traveled to China, especially Wuhan, and came back. So this is another way that it could spread from kids at school. To avoid any member of our Somerset Academy family from getting sick with this illness, we are asking that all families who are currently away from school and are in Asia or are planning to go to Asia to understand that you will not be permitted back into Somerset Academy or YIPS until you and your family have been home from your travels a minimum of 15 days from the date you have landed back in Canada. See, 15 days because it takes up to 2 weeks after they've left. As proof of this, you will be asked to provide and show us your boarding passes and or stamped documents that states the date of your return from your trip. The letter urged parents of children with flu-like symptoms that have developed within the last 12 hours to stay home and rest. That's a very good idea. I'm surprised there hasn't been more schools doing this. We are taking this illness along with other sicknesses very, very seriously, and no exceptions or excuses will be accepted, the letter said. The health of our families is extremely important to us, and you are only putting our students, along with our teachers and staff, health at risk. It is better to be safer now than sorry later. More than 6,000 people signed online petition in York, which is the York region is just outside of Toronto, just north of Toronto, about 25 to 30 minutes from downtown Toronto. A petition has also started to circulate titled, Stop the Potential Spreading of the Novel Coronavirus in Schools of York Region. The author of the petition claims to be representing parents from various schools and calls for caution following Saturday's Chinese New Year. Traditionally, large amounts of people travel nationwide or even internationally during this period to meet families and friends, which tremendously increases the chance of infection, the petition says. So there's a couple of schools that talked about it. Hopefully there will be more. This is the first I've heard of it, but it's not surprising in the least. And hopefully, the people would know better than to send their kid to school if they just came back from China. But of course, a lot of them wouldn't know, and the kids would still go to school as normal. All right, Sacred Stuff says, Deval says, Canada has loads of Chinese people, tons of students, etc., right? Yeah, the article I just read was from a Markham school, and Markham has a huge Chinese base. I think there's about, I would say 70 to 80% of Markham is Chinese based. And I don't know what's the population of Markham, but I would think more than 70 to 80% would be Chinese. Let me see the population of Markham. But that was the first area that's talking about closing the school or having the kids not go to the school because of this virus. Population of Markham. Let's see. We have a population of over 353,000. So I wonder if it says how many are roughly Chinese. But the greater amount of people in Markham are Chinese. Let me see if it shows anywhere on here, but I don't think it'll say roughly, maybe, but let me see. Population of, here, Markham Chinese population. This is from 2018. It also has 57,375 South Asians, 9,715 blacks, 90,20 Filipinos, 6,185 West Asians, 3,400 Arab, 3,160 Korean. So the majority are South Asian. which is Chinese? What percentage of Toronto is Chinese? As of 2001, almost 75% of the Chinese population in Canada lived in either Vancouver or Toronto. The Chinese population was 17% in Vancouver and 9% in Toronto. So there's quite a bit of Chinese. But again, I don't think it's anything to worry about. It only takes that one person that does have it, be it whatever nationality or race they are, and then everybody can get it that way. Devolve, so they are smart to start prepping and not letting it spread via schools or universities. Yeah, they should have done that in Wuhan when they found out about this virus, but totally different situation. Voodoo Master 69 says, my school is funded by some Chinese organization, and it has some exchange students come over every year from different areas. There are a lot of Chinese, well, not just Chinese, but Asian exchange students that come over to Toronto as well. So I'm sure that's spread out everywhere as well. It just depends what part of China they're from. And even still, as I said, if they have already got contact with somebody from Wuhan, it doesn't matter what part of China they're from. Deval said, dude, my girlfriend came down with the flu over the weekend, and now I'm getting worried about her. Did she travel, or where was she from? Conrad Black, 6 children in Richmond Hill were in contact with someone who had the virus. That's what caused the school closure in GTA. 6 children in Richmond Hill? Again, I didn't hear that. Where did you hear that from? Dylan at Devolve says, yes, Canada is much Chinese, especially Toronto and Vancouver. Yeah, I read the stats there. Bash E2, do you think the virus will hit Anaheim Hills? I already said that if it's going to hit the States, it's going to hit everywhere, not just one particular place or another. Conrad Black says it's around 100K according to the nurse in Wuhan. No surprise. Marissa says the WHO knows the truth, but they too won't tell the truth. If Xi Jinping's wife works or has any part to do with the WHO, you will never know the truth. Data Junkie, back. David, I thought of you while I was away from the keyboard. I'm thinking if you will not be able to keep your family indoors, you might have to flee. Only you know. Yeah, he's talking to David, the one that's in China currently. Secret Stuff at Conrad Black, it was 90K, not dead. A lot of people mix that up. It was 90,000 sick. Even so, how are you going to treat all those people? There's only so much the doctors and nurses can do for so many patients per hour. Devolve says, so I live in Africa, but I'm not exactly African. I really wonder about my fellow countrymen, as they are not equipped at all to deal with a virus, impoverished and densely populated. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're not equipped at all, but you gotta find out where to get a mask. First of all, that's the first step. Conrad Black said, sorry for not making that clear. No problem. 90,000 sick. David said, a nurse in Wuhan said to me, do not trust government. Trust yourself. That's the number one recommendation I could say to anybody in China is don't trust anybody but yourself. Not just the government, but anybody. I wouldn't even trust your neighbor at this point. Just trust yourself. Go with what you feel, but do what you got to do to stay safe for yourself and, of course, for your family. But don't worry about the outside world. Don't worry about your neighbor or the person across the street. Take care of yourself and the family. That's all you can do. I'm a Warlock. Those were estimates from 2 to 3 days ago. Secret Stuff saying to David, you never trust government no matter what country. That's a given. Correct. Okay, I'm a Warlock says there are 300 to 350 hospitals in Wuhan. If every single one of those has ridiculous lines outside and they're all cross-contaminating, infecting one another, what the F? 300 and 350 hospitals, yet they're building 2 in like 2 days. You tell me, even using simple math will tell you this situation is total chaos. And unfortunately, we can't get in there to really find out the true story. Kama Luan Nalani, from I guess you're the Hawaiian, right? Says, I sometimes wonder if they let Outbreak happen to take news away from Hong Kong protest. That's another story in itself. Doom Master 69 says, China isn't the most reliable country either.
They aren't keen or on sharing statistics, and they kind of hide things. They definitely do. As I said, we have to do our own math. At whatever number they give you, add 2 or 3 zeros, maybe even 3, yeah, and that way you'll get closer numbers than what they're giving you. Fanny says, no one will protect you but you. Exactly what I'm saying. Think about yourself and the family. That's it. Don't worry about your neighbors or people across the street or anybody else. Devolve at I'm a Warlocks. Do you mean from a purely economical perspective? Ricardox10 says, Xi Jinping is a man in free fall at this moment. I don't know if he's a man in free fall. I seen the news from China, and he was having a great time celebrating Chinese New Year's. So I don't know how worried he is about it. He seemed to be pretty happy yesterday and the day before. But again, I don't want to say too much about it because in case I ever do end up in China, I know I'll end up in some kind of Chinese jail for saying these kind of things. But again, it's not like I'm saying any kind of lie or something. They showed it themselves from the Chinese news. He's out there having a party while people in his own country are dying. That's a fact, not something I'm trying to like stir up problems or something for the Chinese government. Dylan says they have known about the virus since November, apparently. Yeah, I heard that somebody was actually infected from the middle of December. Amma Warlock says like a 325 times 1,000 estimated line equals an infection rate of what? Devolve says there's probably no way to even treat people if the rumors of 100,000 infections are true. Amma Warlocks, exactly. They're so poorly prepared, and got the news out late like a bunch of moronic retards. Devolve says the transmission rate is also understood as very high according to the latest reports. Secret Stuff at Devolve says, sure, you can treat them. You keep them comfortable until dead. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted of one of the last ones where there was a guy laying down. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl laying down in the bed there outside the hospital hall, shaking profusely. I don't know if the person was dying or was already passed away. Apparently, I had a few people tell me that they were already 5 minutes gone, and the body was still shaking that way because of the virus. Again, I don't know if that's the case, but that person was definitely infected. It was really scary. I'm a Warlocks. I canceled my trip for New Year's in early December due to early news of SARS-like virus in the U.S. Why the hell did it take so long for it to be realized to be this bad? Once again, the only answer I can give you, the initials are CG. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about the Chinese government. Coming back, Devolve, I think way worse. I'm a Warlocks. It's been over 2 months. Secret Stuff, I am 2 hours away from Nashville. It's happening all over the USA. Fanny says Florida has closed schools as well over the flu. Conrad Black, yep, I know firsthand. You won't find it online, that's for sure. Merez, the virus will hit everywhere. That's really scary. It's very fast spreading. Much faster than they're saying, that's for sure. Devolve, so starting today, schools are closed all over the states or just some cities? I don't think all the schools will be closed. I just heard about this now, and they've only said that 1 or 2 schools in one of the cities here might close, but only, actually the kid can't go to school if they were in China for the last 2 weeks. Data Junkie says, I had no idea schools in USA or Canada were closing. To be honest with you, neither did I. Fanny, being it is actually flu season, it does put us in a precarious situation in the U.S. Or for everywhere in that matter. Conrad Black, my girlfriend's in chat groups. You won't find it online. Yeah, pretty smart. Don't even mention which chat groups she's in. I wouldn't either. Exo Desert says, my gas mask coming from Amazon with overnight shipping just in time. XL, one thing I want to mention to you or anybody else buying stuff from Amazon, you need to find out where they're shipping from, because there are sellers on Amazon that are from anywhere in the world that would sell you their product. It would show that it's on Amazon, but it's not actually coming from the Amazon warehouse. What you could do, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, on eBay and Amazon, you could sell your products or stuff you buy, send it into Amazon, and then once it's sold, they send it to the to you that bought it. If somebody in China is selling, let's say whatever they're selling, anything, and you go on Amazon and you buy that thing, like let's say they're selling, okay, masks, and it's coming from China. They send it into Amazon, and you go on Amazon website and buy that mask. You're actually they're sending it from the Amazon warehouse, but it originated from the person that sold it in China. So you've got to be really careful where it came from to begin with. All right. So Ammo Warlock says, I'm not returning to China or its territories again. Well, not in the near future anyway, that's for sure. Conrad Black, no, but there were 6 kids that were in contact with that person. Yep, that's what they were saying. David, what am your first hand? Sorry, I don't understand what you mean by that, David. By Bitcoin, yo, mother, what's up, brother? Hey, Bitcoin, thanks a lot for joining. I appreciate that. I've seen that you've been a subscriber for a while. And yeah, for anybody else that's just new to this, this is my first live stream. So I don't know if you guys think it's any good or whatever, but I'm trying to give you as much information as I can. Just trying to help out one another, If you do like the channel, like the live stream, I'd appreciate if you guys do subscribe. Send me a like for this video. Make sure to hit the bell notification icon so that way you guys can get notified for whenever I do post new videos or live streams. But yeah, I do appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on and having this chat with us tonight. Let's see if we can help each other out. J.E. says Kobe Bryant died from coronavirus. No, he didn't. He unfortunately died from a plane crash. I was going to post a lot more about that today, but just due to this coronavirus, I haven't had time. But yeah, I do want to send out my condolences to Kobe, and I also heard that his daughter was in the plane as well. It's very, very sad. I mean, he was only 41, and I think she was. I don't want to say, I'm not sure her age, but there was a video just last week about him and his daughter sitting courtside at a basketball game, and he was explaining to her, the different players and different strategies and everything. It was just, it was a really sad moment. XL Desert says, Conrad Black, not children. They don't understand personal space, covering their mouths, and parents will get too close and spread within family. Conrad Black says, yep. Data Junkie, so they are acting like it's the parents' idea? I'm a Warlock, so I can't believe how ridiculous the CCTV is spinning all of this. It's some goddamn propaganda shown from back in the 1960s. I've said it time and time again. China news is much like the North Korean news. They'll show you what they want to show you, and they'll make you believe what the Chinese government wants them to make you believe. Guys, even masks won't save you against this virus. Only you can save yourself by staying at home. That's from Mariz. Conrad Black, Mariz, yes, but if you do need to go out for any reason, food, water. David said he's staying at home. That's the best thing to do. Secret stuff. I'm surprised this has not happened to China a long time ago. They do not use soap. It's not in bathrooms at all. It's amazing. Millions have not died a long time ago. Secret stuff. I don't know if that's exactly correct. I mean, I know Chinese people, and they are very, very cleanly. So this whole thing about not using soap, I don't agree with that. I mean, there's third world countries that don't use soap because they can't afford it. Chinese, they got money, and even if they don't, soap is not that expensive, and I know a lot of them, they do have it. So I wouldn't agree with that, but that's your opinion. Deval says, I did a quick search, and there were flights from Wuhan to South Africa, perhaps connecting, but since the 23rd at least, some people have traveled from China to South Africa. This is not looking good. I've heard that they shut down the airports, but yeah, I've checked on Flight Radar and those other websites. There are still some flights in and out of Wuhan. So I don't know if it's just like government people that are allowed in and out, or people that are trying to help out. I'm not sure, but I did see that there are still planes coming in and out. Not many, but some. Mariz at Conrad Black. Yep, that's true. But even the doctors that wears all the stuff, God, it's really scary. Mariz, Secret Stuff says, Mariz, I agree with you. Masks are a waste of money. Just stay away from people. Devolve, have you guys gotten your affairs with God in order yet? Yeah, I know a lot of people need to do their prayers, that's for sure. Conrad Black, Mariz, that's normal because they are around it. It can get under their shirt or their mask not fully sealed, and they are tired and treating patient after patient. I've posted a few videos where there have been a couple of doctors who are also passed out as they tried to help. Conrad Black, it's normal that they get it. Data Junkie, yes, I devolve, thank you. Kamaluanani says, at Mariz, I still have to go to work and I work with Adrian tourists. Hawaii still has flights from China and I am not allowed mask at work. Oh, Asian. I work with Asian tourists. You're not allowed masks at work. Well, I don't think, what kind of work do you do? There's no way they can prevent you from wearing a mask if it's a health issue. I don't see anywhere where you would not be able to wear a mask. Unless you work like you have to get your driver's license photo taken or something, they cannot, I don't think, tell you to take off your mask if it's a health hazard. Marissa Conrad Black, I can't imagine how hard that is for them. It's really sad. Talking about the doctors. Devolve at Kamana Luani. Tell them you ordered some exotic healing foods from China, and over the weekend you started to feel a bit woozy. Yeah, I mean, I can't see how you cannot wear a mask, or they can't allow you to wear a mask. Sulolo says, the first month of 2020 we have coronavirus. I wish the rest of 11 months will be much peaceful. Let's hope that the next 11 months isn't much worse with this coronavirus. Nobody Special says, the most concerning thing to me on the spread of this media, always fearmongers, yet they are very quiet, eerily quiet, especially compared to Ebola or WW3. Mariz at Kamala Loani says, this virus will soon reach all countries. I'm afraid that we are all hopeless and cannot do anything. Kamala Loani at Devolve, good idea. I will try. Many tourists coughing. They do not wear masks here because they feel safe in Hawaii. I'm telling you, get that mask and start wearing it as the first thing you get to work. They cannot fire you for that. There is no way. Secret Stuff says, I am out in a few days. I will make a video on this to help people understand better. You all have a good night. Secret Stuff, thanks again for joining, and stay safe, all right? Yeah, make videos. Shoot me some message on YouTube as well. Let me know how you're doing, okay? Buy Bitcoin says, first time there's been a quarantine in the past 100 years. Yeah, and then some. Data Junkie, Richmond Hills, what state? Data Junkie, Richmond Hill is a city just north of Toronto in Canada. It's about half an hour from downtown Toronto. Maria says, now bunker is a good idea. Buy Bitcoin says, oh, Africa is screwed. Devolve, can I trust my cat? Think he's compromised? You know what? I haven't heard of the disease catching up in animals, but I have heard a question about people asking, can cats and dogs get it? And from what I've heard, no, they cannot. Diego Alavaria. Hello, I'm from Chile. Hey, welcome, Diego. Appreciate you joining. South America. Today, we knew something about the first sick man who returned from China, but the media didn't say anything. Wow, even in Chile, eh? No, I didn't hear anything either today. Whereabouts in Chile are you? Are you from the main city or a small town, or whereabouts in Chile? And where is this sick man arriving? Where did he arrive? John Jackson says, hey, how worried should I be about this if I'm in the UK? Like everybody else, I would be very worried. Again, I want to stress that I'm not trying to put fear into people. I'm just trying to be more realistic than what the news is telling us. And from what I've seen from the actual people inside China, not from the people outside of China, it is much worse than they're letting on. Maris says, now, hospitals is the main source for corona. If you go to a hospital and you are all right, you will return with a free corona. David says, I will tell all my family. Diego, I can send you an official image from the hospital system. Sure, that you can, if you want to email me, like I said, or either send it to my Twitter at MAVAKAGA, or email me at that same one, mavakaga@gmail.com. And I can make a video with you guys, posting me pictures or whatever else you guys want to tell me. And we can make a new video with all that. If there's enough interest, sure, why not? Dylan, new info in journal just out. 1. More than one source of virus didn't necessarily originate in market. And 2. Common source of virus is now set as early as October 1st. That's the first I've heard. The earliest I've heard was mid-December. Happy Show Mele says, coronavirus spreading. Even if you have a normal cold and get it checked in a hospital with corona patients, you might end up with corona. Definitely. Data Junkie, after 5 minutes, sounds like the movie Aliens. Yikes. Happy Show. I'm honestly worried. It has spread to Sweden, my home country as well. Every minute you're hearing another country pop up. It's really unbelievable. David at Dylan says, what you said is true and reliable. Devolve at Happy Show. Don't stress, bro. Nothing can survive the frozen north. Yeah, right. Our winters are hell. Happy Show. Haha, I know, right? Dylan at David. It is in reliable scientific journal called Lancet. Devolve, thanks for the info at Dylan. Dylan, came out Friday, but I am just reading now. Mariz says, they said that not everyone shows the symptoms. Devolve, guys, I found a Western reporter based in Asia that went into the quarantine in Wuhan. Reporter. David says, what is a common source of virus set on October 1st, Dylan? Mariz says, like, seriously, they put thermal screens in airports, but that won't show anything if there is still no symptoms. Agent Toe says, I just bought a gas mask from Georgia. There are Russian gas masks on eBay for $18.98. Price is cheap for now. I wouldn't trust it, though, because who knows where it originated from. You get what you pay for. If you're really looking at legit masks, you're looking at 10 times the price of what they were normally. Fanny says the virus shouldn't live that long on surface. If it is, then it has mutated drastically. Buy Bitcoin says, love your videos, brother. Doing great. Buy Bitcoin, I totally appreciate that, man. You're a good dude. Kamalu Nuani says, also, Honolulu is already in such short supply of face masks that some places are price gouging. I bought mine at a price gouged dollar amount from a friggin' CVS. I kept the package as proof. That's what I was saying. Masks are going to pay at least 10 times the amount if you find a real good one and not no counterfeit or used or dirty one. You're going to be paying an expensive amount for them. Devolve says at EX, we were wondering the same thing. The Mraz says, the guy who says they don't clean themselves, just go to China and you will see fancy cars everywhere. Please don't believe these things. They are normal people like us. Yeah, like I said, I know a lot of Chinese people, and I'm not going to bash them for saying something like they don't use soap, because I know for a fact they're just like everybody else, and they are very clean people. This just happened to that area, and not for the reasons about soap or anything else like that. All right. So David says maybe animals would spread it. No, there's been no known reports of any kind of animal spreading the disease. There's been reports that it could be spread from a dead animal or rotten meat or something like that to a human, but not from an animal directly, like a cat or a dog, bringing it onto a person. There has been no reports of that whatsoever. So I wouldn't be worried about any animals. Living animals, that is. Dylan says that, David, they don't know. It is based on a genetic analysis of most common ancestor. Devolve at Mariz, the poor lower classes still live like it's 1200s in most parts of the world. Buy Bitcoin says to wear a hijab. Pretty soon we're going to be wearing a lot more than a hijab, my friend. Dylan Anderson, evolutionary biologist at the Scripps Research Institute, analyzed sequences of 2019 NCOV. It suggests they had a most recent common ancestor, meaning a common source, as early as October the 1st. Sue Lolo says, yeah, the way if all the businesses are closing at Wuhan, how people get their foods or what if regular sicknesses and people need a place to visit doctor? The lineups at the doctors, even in the hospitals, is crazy right now. So I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody has an answer. Kamal Luani says, my mask goes against uniform policy and can scare kids. I work in an arcade. Also, sorry for my name. Thank you for doing your best. You do great work. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's a kind of a tricky name. I know it's Hawaiian, so is it Kamalulani? You know what? Forget it. Why don't I just call you Kamal? Is that all right? But yeah, I appreciate your messages. And this uniform policy, did you ask your boss if you can wear one, or are you just assuming that because it might scare the kids? Kids need to also be informed about what's going on, right? So I don't know. I would just talk to your boss and say, hey, look, I need this in order to protect myself. If your work really cares about you, then of course it will respect your decision to do that. That's just my suggestion, and I would do that. Dylan says no epidemiological link was found between the first patient and later cases. 13 of the 41 cases had no link to the marketplace either. Buy Bitcoin, coronavirus, war with Iran, Kobe death. Yeah, what a start to 2020, eh? Bitcoin. Mariz, sure, there are poor people, but they still have rich people everywhere in China, not too poor like India, for example. They are all right. Dylan, Kobe death was most shocking, to be honest. Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I heard about that too. But you know what? When your time comes, I mean, it's going to happen to everybody, right? So sooner, later, whenever, it's going to happen to everybody. But it was definitely indeed sad. Data Junkie, thank you, Mavakaga. Not a problem, Data. Devolve at Dylan says, why is that? Helicopters are the leading cause of death among rich people. Dylan at David, maybe animals would spread it. It originally came from snakes. True. Exel says, I wanted to move to Indonesia eventually. We'll have to wait till this dies down. It's definitely putting a lot of fear in people, but it's also reality. Nobody special. On Kobe's death, there was a cartoon aired on Comedy Central in 2016 of him in a helicopter crash. Yeah, that's too bad, unfortunately. Sue Lolo says, I guess we are not living in China. That is our best luck. At least we won't get corona very quick and very easy. Let us wash our hands, stay indoors, don't go to public places now. Wait and see. But you got to go to work, right? You still got to go outside. You can't stay inside your whole life, right? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Even if you step outside and you touch a door handle, it's that easy. You got to be protected at all times. I guess always wear gloves, always wear hand sanitizer. Anytime you go out, just wear gloves, cover yourselves up as much as you can. You know what? You can never be safe enough. There's no such thing as too much safety. So do what you can, and that's it, And of course, you can always watch my videos day to day and see what else you can do. But that's just a self plug, guys. You know that. But again, I appreciate everybody who's been joining me tonight. It's been almost 2 hours, and you guys are still here. Wow, you guys are really dedicated. I totally appreciate you guys. We got to do this more often. What do you say? All right, so Mariz at Dylan, it's not a normal virus. It's a man-made virus. Don't believe what they say. Hot air balloons have a better track record. Predictive programming. Nobody special at Excel says, absolutely, just like the Illuminati card game Trump card says, snipers can get you anywhere, anytime. Dylan and Miraz, yes, but they use animals to test and experiment, even if lab created. Mariz, Dylan, true, just like H1N1. Excel at Nobody Special says Trump is going to be assassinated pretty soon. Dylan, yeah. Xylon Abila, I guess you're new here as well. Welcome to the channel. If you think about it, it's similar to chicken pox. After 2 weeks, you get the disease, but in the meantime, you can infect others. Chicken pox, you can infect others if they have not got it before. If they had chicken pox before, they can't get it again. Diego, oh yeah, there's one from Chile. I'm from the capital city of the country. It's called Santiago, and we have an international airport, but there weren't any news, and the airport is still working as normal. Santiago, Chile. Hey, you know what? Just off topic a little bit. I was going for your team against Brazil in the World Cup there back in a few years back. It's too bad you guys lost to Brazil, but anyways, I like Chile as the South American team. Uh, David, type it. What's your Twitter again? What's your Twitter again? I can't sleep well again. I have been in this situation for 4 days. Bye, everybody. David, if you want to follow me on Twitter, MAVAKAGA. All right. It's also on the bottom there. It's scrolling across on my on the video. It should be at the bottom. It tells you follow me at Twitter, Mavakaga. CEO says Canadian, eh? Oh, how'd you know? Did I say A? I probably did at one time or another. Yeah, totally Canadian, bro. Doodoo Master 69. I rewatched the video of the doctor on the phone crying you posted, and it keeps scaring me like he's gonna pop up from my window and start to yell at me in Chinese. You know what it was? It was because he was sacrificing himself. He really was. It was New Year's. He's away from his family. He's trying to save people. He sees people dying all around him. I give that guy nothing but major props. I mean, that guy deserves a medal, something he will never get from China, unfortunately. But those are the true warriors. Those doctors, those nurses, those people that just want to help out, those are the real warriors. Those are the people that should run China, not these flakes that are really running China right now. And again, sorry to go on a rant, but my heart goes to these people because they're the ones that deserve the recognition, not these people walking around celebrating New Year's like nothing's going on in their own country. How could you say you care for your people? You live there and you're out celebrating? There's got to be something wrong in your brain. And more importantly, something totally messed up in your heart. Let's continue. Sorry, I sometimes get emotional about it because, I mean, this isn't right for those people. And as Data Junkie says, yeah, David, sorry, I can imagine what you and your family are going through right now. What is the mortality rates? Asked CO. We really don't know right now. It's way too early. David says, it doesn't matter. I will protect my family well. You do that. You're a good man, David. CO says 15% or 3%. I've heard 3%. Who really knows? Data Junkie at CO. It depends on who you believe. We've heard as high as 70%, but don't know. Exactly. We don't know. CO says, what source did you get that from? There is no source. That's the problem. There's not going to be a source because the Chinese government won't give you a source. They're not allowing anybody in to really paint the picture of what's going on. Dylan says from Reddit, nitrile gloves, goggles, along with mask, plus rubber boots and disposable Tyvek suit in the vehicle. A blow waste cleanup kit includes suit, apron, booties, etc. for about $13 US on Amazon. Again, Dylan, where is that seller actually from on Amazon? Where did it originate from? Because again, if it came from China, all the stuff you're buying, it's pointless because all you're doing is getting the virus sent to you. You know what I mean? If it's handled by somebody who had the virus and they touch this stuff that you're ordering and it's coming straight into your house, you're putting it on your body, right? So obviously you're going to get infected. So be very careful where you're buying it from and who was the original seller on Amazon or anywhere else you buy it online. Make sure you're buying it from somewhere around your area, like if you're in the States or in Canada. But even then, go to a hardware store, go to a paint store, go to one of these big stores, find out where it originated from. Another thing you got to be careful of, again, I don't want to induce fear or something, but Walmart has a lot of products that are made in China. Be very careful what you're touching, and if you do touch any products in Walmart, go and wash your hands right away. All right, that's all I can say. Don't forget the hand sanitizer. Use it day and night. Who cares if you end up smelling like a walking sanitizer? Who cares? Exo says, flu season in the States is pretty bad this year. Wonder if there's some kind of depopulation program going on. I've heard that as well. CEO says, Trump will not be assassinated. He will be reelected and serve another term. Dylan, best to be overly cautious whenever you go out. Exactly. Sue Lolo says, when Chinese government shut the internet, that means the situation really, really out of control and really, really horrible. Like I said, if the Chinese government shut down Wuhan internet, Wuhan's finished. It's done. That's it. Maria says at Sue Lolo, they are building the new hospital to lock them down and kill them. That's what I was saying earlier. I think they're just making it as a cemetery. I don't think they're making it to help out anybody. They can't get enough. They can't get enough doctors, anyways. Even if the amount of people to doctors, the ratio is getting crazier and crazier. They can't help that many people. Kamal says, is there any way we can send packages to Wuhan? Packages are coming out from what I've heard. Is anything able to get sent in to help? No, they're not going to take anything from anywhere other than maybe another part of China. I'm not really sure, but I know for sure that they are not allowing anything in from any foreign countries. Absolutely not. The government will not allow it. They won't even allow reporters in. Why are they going to allow anybody to try and help them? You know what I mean? Dylan says, I think medical staff are dying too, at level they will never say. Yeah, the only two, I posted 2 videos of 2 doctors just dropping to the floor because they couldn't take it anymore or they had the disease. I don't really know if they were infected or if they were just exhausted and they couldn't even stand up anymore. They're working day and night around the clock. No sleep, no lunch, no breaks, no nothing. Data Junkie says the Chinese medical staff in Wuhan are nothing less than heroic. Yeah, as I said, they deserve a gold medal, among other things. They deserve to run China. CO, at a mortality rate of 15%, I have calculated deaths to total 1 billion worldwide. It can happen. Who knows? It could be higher. There's no way to know. Secret Owl says 15%, Lancet Journal of Medicine. Sue Lolo said, I read online they build extra hospital at SARS time, and people they sent to that hospital, even mistakenly sent to there, they never come back. Hope not this time. That's why I said, I think they're making the hospitals as cemeteries, graveyards. CEO says, yes, Lancet Journal of Medicine was my source too. Dylan at Mavakaga, yes, very good point. CEO, yeah, you have to throw your disposable PPD outside of your home and do not bring it in. CO, Walmart, Home Depot, and Amazon are all sold out of N95 masks. I knew Home Depot was. I kind of figured Walmart was. Amazon, I knew that they had some left yesterday, but they were selling it 10 times the amount. Dylan at Mavakaga, thank you for doing this. No problem, Dylan. I appreciate you being here as well. And like I said, do subscribe to the channel and you'll be updated whenever I do any live stream. Come on in, let's discuss it some more, all right? Data Junkie says, will any hand sanitizers kill viruses? I thought they just kill bacteria, but I don't know. Hand sanitizers do kill viruses, I believe. I know they kill bacteria, of course, 100%. But you do what you can to prevent as much as you can. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's not going to kill everything that you might have come in contact with, but it will help to decrease the chances. So that's why I'm saying use sanitizer as much as possible. Maria says, guys, I'm not joking. I never imagined that the situation of Raccoon City of that game Resident Evil could happen in real life. Really scary. Yeah, I heard a couple people mention Raccoon City as far as the video game goes, that it's so like, it's a video game, but it's like so realistic, and especially nowadays. Forced Altruism says, Reddit, ask me anything with a current Chinese resident in r/China_flu gives a ton of insight into the situation. Definitely worth the read. I would recommend that as well, guys. If you guys go to Reddit, go to the subreddit r/China_flu, and there's a lot of good information on there as well. Forced Altruism, original post is quarantined in Wuhan currently. Op is quarantined in Wuhan currently. Data Junkie, what did you learn from him at Forced Altruism? Oh, the original post from the China flu guy and the Chinese resident. Wow, that would be a good read then. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out later. Forced Altruism. I'd post a link here, but I can't. He's talking about basically everything we are here. Okay, yeah, Forced Altruism. Like I said, if people go to reddit.com, I guess it's /r and then /China, which is capital CHINA, and then underscore capital FLU. You guys can go check that out and read up on it. Check it out later. Forced altruism, data junkie. Most definitely settle down with some of my worries on the topic. Doom Master says, so do you guys think that the people are more reliable than the Chinese government, even though it isn't easy to believe them since there's no real structural evidence being shown in some leaked vids? I believe them way more than I believe the Chinese government. I can't see why they would post all kinds of fake videos about people dying and bleeding all over the place. I don't see it. So yeah, I will definitely believe people, regular citizens, over any government, any day. Doesn't matter which country you're in, but especially North Korea and China. And then probably even Cuba too, because again, communist country, right? But China, of course, yeah. I definitely believe the people over the government. Any day, any night, anytime. Data junkie. I always believe real people who live in other countries over statements made by their state departmental officials. Exactly what I said. How can we believe them, right? You know what, guys? I'm going to let's see if I can pull that one up. All right. So you said it was reddit.com /r/ is it AMA or just China flu? Let's see if it's under China flu. See if I can find that post you were talking about, and then you guys could just check it out on your own time. I'm sure it's a long read too, but I'm sure it's very, very useful. Which one of these is it here? Like, here we go. I believe it's this one. I am a Wuhan resident in Qiangshan district. Ask me anything. Is this the one you were talking about? It's got 1,200 upvotes, so I'm sure this is the one you were referring to. Okay, let's see what else here. Data junkie. I always believe real people. Yeah. Dylan. I think the best sources are the independent journals for science and the independent social media from locals. Well, that's why I'm trying to be as independent as possible as well. You know, give you guys and want you guys to give me your own opinion as opposed to what the news wants us to hear and tell us. Marissa says, they are claiming that there are some people that have recovered, but they are lying. Yep, I posted that one video, like I said earlier, of that lady in the hospital bed with 5 nurses or 4 nurses around her, and she's all like, hey, look at me, I survived. This is beatable, and blah, blah, blah. I think that was all propaganda by the government. Again, just my opinion. Dylan says, yes, they also lied, and it said it was only affecting old and weak. Yeah, I heard that a 2-year-old got it. Tariq Zamj said, they make in lab coronavirus and they have vaccine, one YouTuber said. We don't know. Forced altruism, it's under China flu. Yeah, I think it's the post I just pulled up here. Let me know. Data junkie, also in China, the people risk their lives uploading anything that diverges away from governmental statements. So there is that. They're definitely risking their life, and a lot of people are getting caught, and who knows what happened to them after they get put away, if you know what I mean. I'm there now, but I noticed that it was from 4 days ago on Reddit. The one I'm on, it shows it's posted 16 hours ago. That's the one. Okay, so forced altruism. Thanks. So yeah, if you guys want to go onto reddit.com /r/China_flu, and then just look for the topic that says, I am a Wuhan resident in, I think it's Qingshan, Qingshan district. Ask me anything. And there's a whole post on here. Thanks a lot to Forced Altruism for pointing this one out. As you can see, it's very, very long. A lot of question and answers on here. It's a really good read. I would definitely recommend this, as I'm going to read up on this as well later on when we're done. Thanks a lot, Forced Altruism. I really appreciate that link that you sent. I heard China flu was being moderated by CCP, says Lou. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, hopefully these answers are serious answers and not just controlled or moderated by the CCP. Doodoo Master 69 says, I agree. However, I think it's hard to because in some cases that people make rumors for no good reason, and it always tries to take over my mind, ultimately making me believe I'm overreacting. Forced altruism says at Lou, I guess that's plausible. Data Junkie says, I remember China tried to buy the role of censorship on Reddit, so I'll discern that sub, but still interested. Chinese person here says the Chinese government hides everything. I'll give you credit for, your, if you can tell me your username, the Chinese person that posted the Chinese government hides everything, if you could just give me like an English name to call you by, that way I can quote you on what you're typing. Doodoo Master says that Lou, I wouldn't doubt that, but I fear for the original poster of that the Wuhan resident in Reddit. Lou, I also heard the next independent source on Reddit is r/CV News. I don't know. Mariz says the president of Korea said we won't have coronavirus because we will kill everyone who have it. I don't know if it's even all right to laugh. I don't think the president would have said that, and also that's not a true fact either because there's already been a case in Korea. Let me update the latest from BNO News, which at 11:45, which was about an hour and a half ago, there were 2,810 confirmed cases worldwide and 80 fatalities. I'm going to refresh the screen right now and see what the latest is. See how much it went up in an hour and a half. 2819 and 81 fatalities. So apparently another one just died and a few more confirmed cases. So now it's up to 76 in Wuhan or Hubei province, one in Shanghai, one in Henan, one in Hainan province, one in, this is going to be hard for me to say, Heilongjiang province, and one in Hebei province. So 81. And for the person that was saying South Korea the president said they would shoot them or something as soon as they found out, there's already 4 cases in South Korea. So I don't think the president would have said that or would do anything about it. Not yet, anyway. Okay, that Chinese person says, oh, I am Taiwanese, but you can call me Wei Yan or Yang. Okay, I'll stick with Yang for now, okay? Because, the other one is a little bit harder to say. So let me just stick with Yang. So, yeah, like I said, it's nowhere close to the amount that they've been reporting. 76 is nothing. Add at least 1 or 2 zeros to that, and maybe we'll get something. Let's see if there's any more updates on the schools closing or anything like that. There's also the outbreak in Tibet. I think David was just talking about going to Tibet or something. They said that Potala Palace in Tibet to be shut down from Monday to prevent the spread of the virus. So I don't think it's safe to travel anywhere nowadays. Okay, let me see here. Put the user in timeout. All right, so nobody special. Thanks for doing a live stream. It made me have more faith in the authenticity behind you. My final question for the night is, how do they still have power? Keep doing what you're doing. It's great. Nobody special. I appreciate your comments. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. That way you can be notified whenever I do a live stream or post new videos. How do they still have power? They're the government. That's it. Who's going to take them down? The only people that can take them down is themselves, right? And it's been like this for years and years and years. So there's nothing we can do about that. Nobody special says power is as in electric. How do they still have electric, you mean? Electricity? Like I said, they were talking about even shutting down the internet. So hopefully it won't come to that. If they shut down the electricity and that would be also shutting down the internet, they'd be done. There is no coming back from that. Kamal says, did we see the video that many people re-uploaded from the young guy claiming to be the Wuhan resident? He goes on about a 12-minute rant. His friends work in a hospital. Saw it on the newsmonger here on YouTube. I did not see it, and there is no way to confirm if he's really a Wuhan resident or where he's located right now. CO says, yeah, that Reddit AMA is from 4 days ago, and he's saying how good the government is doing and how he has faith in the hospitals and that they are fine, but coughing with lots of stored food because of holiday. Couldn't come at a worse time, eh? Right at Chinese New Year. Makes you wonder if this was all planned to fall on the Chinese New Year, the busiest time of the year for China. I don't know. There's so many things that could be coincidence, or who's to say? But could be all thanks to the government that did it. We don't know. Data junkie. I don't know what nobody's special, but it's common for military personnel to be trained on infrastructure equipment just in case there is a disaster and they have to step in. I'm Skelly Plays says, you got your bug out bag ready. CO, my BS flag is going up because you posted videos with tons of people, dead people, corridors filled with people in the hospitals. Right. Nobody special says, thanks at Data Junkie. Good luck to all. Which BS flag are you talking about, CO? I posted many videos of things that are going on. So which one are you talking about? Data Junkie, you're welcome. CO, I think that the poster on Reddit from Wuhan is COINTELPRO. Again, I don't know. I haven't read his posts or what you can ask him or whatnot. I wouldn't get too personal or buddy with the guy, especially since I don't know who he is. So yeah, like I said, there's many places closing. A lot of places have already closed. Disneyland is closed. What else is closed? The 70,000 movie theaters. So there hasn't been one movie theater open in all of China. And again, at the worst possible time, being New Year's. Biggest movie companies releases their biggest movies of the year. They're losing billions and billions. I'm just wondering how the trade's going to go as far as China trading with the States, with Canada, with anybody else in the world. They're going to lose a lot of business. They're going to lose a lot of money, and not just China, but everybody that deals with them is also going to be affected. So let's see here. Yang says, it is year of the rat. I was hopeful for this year. I guess this month has not been so good with everything happening. And it just started too. So, I mean, we're 27 days in, and already a massive epidemic is about to take place. So I don't know how this year is going to keep on continuing. How it can get better? It can only get worse, I think. CO says, where are you from, Data Junkie? Data Junkie is from Virginia, and CO is from Texas. So another couple of Americans here. As far as you guys in the States go, has there been any cases that you've heard of from your state? Not from the U.S., but from your exact state. Have you heard any reports, or is there anything going on? I know that there was 5 cases in the States. I wonder, where were those 5 cases? Let me see if I can find that. What states they were in. CO says that all seems excessive for 50 deaths and a little coughing, like their government is saying. That's because it's not 50. It's much higher. Dylan says this must have big effect on stock market, and it's going to have an even bigger effect once the situation does come out. The severity of it, it'll get worse. 5 coronavirus cases in the U.S. Let's see if they name the states. Dylan says add a 0, or maybe, like I said earlier, 2 or 3. CEO says people here don't take it seriously because there are 8,000 flu deaths a year. Yeah, but this isn't a flu. This is a lot more serious than that. And that's why that number of 8,000, you should at least times it by maybe 10 for one state, that is, not for all of the U.S. CEO says one case not confirmed, but they just told the guy to stay home. Is that the one in Toronto? Because there was one in Toronto that he came, but they didn't even say he's got the coronavirus yet. They said that it'll be official tomorrow, or they'll confirm it tomorrow. Okay, 5 cases have been confirmed. So 2 in California, 1 in Washington, Illinois, and Arizona. Australia has seen 5, France 3, and like we said, Canada 1 presumptive, so not even confirmed. All right, so let's see here. Mariz says, I think that there are countries that have the coronavirus, but they didn't say anything. I believe this virus is in every country now. Mariz, you know what? I kind of agree with you. And if they don't announce it, they will announce it this week, because there's only so much they can control. It's going to be more and more as the days go by, not less and less. Data Junkie says, I don't know what Mavaka got. I really don't keep up with the news. I've heard California, Illinois, and Washington with a false alarm in Texas where the suspected student tested negative. Yeah, I just did it. I just did a search, and it does show that there was 2 in California and 1 in Washington, Illinois, and Arizona. Correct. CEO says, thanks, bro. Let's see here. Mariz, I mean, they will say the truth if they have the virus in the country only if the situation become like Wuhan. Yeah, well, even in Wuhan, it's not, they're not saying everything. So it's not like the situation that they're saying in Wuhan, because in Wuhan, they're saying it's only 80 something, where we know it's way, way more than that. I think in the videos that I've posted, I've seen more than 80 in the videos. And those are the videos that are actually from inside China. So I don't know why they're still sticking with this 80. Data Junkie, I heard Minnesota too, but I don't know. Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything about Minnesota. Just the 5 that I've said were those states. Yang says, here in Taiwan, there was a man who went to a club in my city and did not tell anyone he was sick. I am worried for those people who were there. He is being fined. I heard that story as well. I can't confirm it because I haven't got the person's name or where exactly he was. I know he was in the city, and I know he was in some club. That's what I heard too, but I haven't heard the name of the club. I haven't heard the name of the person or anything. I just heard, that there was a man, he went to a club, and he told somebody, or he didn't tell anybody that he was sick, but he did have it. So yeah, if you can give me, if you know the guy's name, or if you have a story where I can find a story about it, I would appreciate that. Data Junkie says, wow, Yan, yep. Nobody special at Data Junkie. Just around town, I've heard 2 in Minnesota, but 1 very likely from Chicago. CEO also heard about the guy from Taiwan. Data Junkie says we shouldn't be getting mixed reports on infected here in the States. Something is wrong. They said 5. So originally they did make a mistake with that Texas person, as you said. I believe you said it. I just think they don't want to still inject fear into people, which isn't the right way of going about this, because people need to be aware of what's going on. This isn't like, the news doesn't report about people jumping in front of a subway train because they don't want to advocate suicide or something. But this is something totally different, So I would say they need to give you this kind of information. It's like when the first story came out yesterday about the guy in Toronto. They said, yes, he has it. And now they're saying, well, they're presuming he has it. And now they won't know until tomorrow if he has it. Then stick with the story. You know what I mean? Don't change it up and try to get, media attention, or trying to get people to listen to your station because you have the news first. What good is news if it's incorrect news? Yang says, I heard something about someone being checked in Ivory Coast. If that was true, Africa will suffer. Right now, as you said, you're just hearing things like, oh, we're hearing something from here, something from there. Eventually, it's going to be reality, and it's going to be facts with names, ages, what happened, where they get it. This is only the beginning, and it's so clouded right now that we really don't even know 1% of what's really happening. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't even been like told to take my videos down, because all I can say is thank God I'm not in China. If I was in China and uh, posted these videos, I would be long in jail by now. But this is what it's like to be, freedom of speech, freedom to show what you want to show, because this is real. I'm not showing it to bring down people or to like hurt people or you know anything illegal, because here it's not illegal. This is really what's happening. These are people filming what's really going on in the world, and people should be aware of it. So that's why I'm posting them. This is really the only few places where you can see what's really going on from the outside as what's going on the inside. So as I said, if you guys do enjoy my videos or this live stream, this is my first one. I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you guys can subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. And hit the bell notification icon, so that way anytime I do produce new videos, which I'm trying to do daily, you guys will be notified right away, and you can watch them anytime. Leave comments, suggestions, good, bad, whatever, and I'll try to reply to each and every one of you. And I totally appreciate each one of you coming by and spending time with me tonight. This is really cool, you guys. Yang said also, our news has not released the details of it. In this point, I think every government is hiding things. That's definitely true. We covered that before as well. Governments are definitely hiding things. That's every country, not just China or anywhere else, but everywhere. All right, guys. I think I'll go on for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll cut this one off for tonight. I've been on for a few hours. As I said, this was my first one. I just wanted to try it out, see who would join me and chat with us about this evening. It's a serious thing, and I do appreciate each one of you for stopping by, spending the time with us tonight. That's really cool of you. Yang says, I am just thankful I got out of my job early today. There has there been, yeah, there has been a confirmed case in Taiwan as well, right? Let me see here. Oh, no, there hasn't been. Oh, yeah, Taiwan, 4. So there has been 4 people infected in Taiwan. Have you heard about those, Yang? Those 4 people in your country? Again, make sure you stay safe. Get the mask if you can, gloves, hand sanitizer, whatever you need. Just go out and get them. Don't worry about what people might think of you, or like the person from Hawaii there was saying, he's not allowed to wear a mask at work. I think that's just wrong. But yeah, I would definitely say stay safe no matter what. Your job is not worth it. Nothing's worth your life. All right. Lou, once it gets bigger than the censorship of China, it will all come out. Definitely. CEO says, what website is that you have up, please? The one about the timeline. Are you talking about the tracking the coronavirus? It's B like Bob, N like Nancy, O, news.com. And then what you do is you just click on where it says tracking coronavirus, map, data, and timeline. They do update it very often. As the last one here was from 1158, and it says there are currently 2,819 confirmed cases worldwide, including 81 fatalities. I'm going to refresh the screen right now and see if there's any update. So from 1158, it was 2819. No, it's still 1158. So they do update about every couple of hours. But yeah, it's a really good website for tracking it. I don't know how precise it is, but it's the closest I've found. But again, these numbers I think are not even close to reality. But this is the one I go to anyway. All right, so what else we have here? Data junkie, for us it is the beginning anyway. For others, it has been a bit longer. Yang says the truth is not always comfortable. Lou, once it gets bigger than the censorship of China, it'll all come out. Yeah. Forced altruism, keep up the good work. Thanks a lot, Forced Altruism. I appreciate that. Data Junkie, thank you for doing this. I'm a Vakaga. I recommend this channel to many people. Hey, you know what, Data Junkie, man? That's really nice of you, and I truly do appreciate that. I honestly do appreciate each and every one of you that have come by, and do appreciate the time that we've taken to talk about this. It is something that it's trying to benefit all of us and to protect each and every one of us. CEO says you need to post that video where the guy tried to bribe the hospital with money to cut in line, and he died on the floor in a bunch of cash. I don't know if I can really show that one because there's some videos where I was thinking I should post them, but there are some that have like a lot of blood in it and stuff, and it's really gory, and I don't think YouTube would allow me to post those. I would, but I don't want to take the chance of getting a strike or taken down and channel lost for something that they don't want me to show. So I'm almost pushing the limits with what I'm showing now, but I don't feel that the stuff I'm showing is anything really bad in a way that they should take it down. It's just for learning and just bringing the people to the masses and trying to help out. Say, be prepared. Look what's going on. This is what's really happening. Doodoo Master, what websites, platforms, or outlets do you look at to find the videos you lost? To find the videos I lost? What do you mean? Oh, post. What websites, platforms, or outlets do you look at to find the videos you post? I basically scan just different websites, especially on Google. There's some people that I know from China that do send me these videos that I can't really say too much about that, but I do get the videos that they send me, and the ones that are okay or I feel that are okay to post, those are the ones I post. But yeah, I've even been approached by like Japanese TV stations actually today. Sending me messages saying, "Oh, can we use some of your videos? And where did you get your videos from?" And there's no way I'm gonna divulge that kind of information. I just can't. I'm not gonna rat anybody out. You know what I mean? They're risking their life already as it is. That's enough of that. Yang, yes, 4. I have been wearing masks for 3 years now for prepared. Also, it helps for general polluted air. Okay, well, that's good that you can wear that. And yeah, I was going to say, if your work didn't allow it, then there's something wrong with your work. Dylan says that that's not right, that they won't let him wear a mask. Exactly. Anybody in any country at any job should be allowed to wear a mask. The only times I know that you can't cover your face or wear something on your face is when you get your driver's license photo taken or a passport, And even that, there was a big deal here in Canada about Muslim ladies who cover their face and only show their eyes. There was a woman who took Canadian or tried to take Canada to court, saying, it's unethical that she should be allowed to wear that to get her driver's license photo taken. I don't remember exactly what came of it, but yeah, that was the one thing. So other than driver's license and passport photos, you should be allowed to wear a mask wherever you are, no matter what the job is. CO, thank you very much for all your hard work. I subbed when you first started posting videos on Wuhan. Thanks again, CO. I appreciate that. And if you know anybody else who is interested or wants to get updated on the coronavirus, definitely tell them to subscribe to the channel as well. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated as much as possible, of course. CO, official number is almost 3,000 infected worldwide. Yeah, that's what this website BNO says. 2,819 confirmed, including 81 fatalities. The 81 is what I don't believe, though. I'm Skelly Plays said, should I wear a mask to school? Why not? I don't know where you're from, but right now I would say it doesn't even matter where you're from. I would definitely say wear a mask. Yeah, to school, why not? They can't say anything at school, definitely. Doodoo Master, can you post some link to lead to those graphic videos you mentioned you can't show? Can you post some link to lead to those graphic videos you mentioned you can't show? No, unfortunately, there's no way I can do that. I hope you understand. Data Junkie says, are the victims coughing up blood? Uh, there are some videos that they're already laying down or they're falling down and they hit their head on the pavement and then the blood starts spewing. There's some videos where they're already on the ground and there is blood coming from their face. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Data Junkie, are the victims coughing up blood? That I cannot say. I'm a Warlock says, the official numbers do not look anything like real data either. Look at the SARS data that came out of Hong Kong. Extremely spiky. Why? Because they actively found or discovered community infection. Yeah, I know. CEO says, I've seen porn on YouTube, brother. I know, but I'm not going to risk my channel over something like, anything to do with too much graphic violence for YouTube. You know what I mean? Yang says, you have earned my support, I will say. Thanks a lot, Yang. I appreciate that. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And you'll be notified anytime I do post new videos and new live streams. Warlock says the Wuhan numbers are perfectly smooth that follow a logarithmic or exponent curve. Agent Toast could post those videos on live leaks. I'm a Warlocks, aka they're going to admit it's bad, but they're controlling the data. I'm a Warlock, so stupid. CO, I've looked for videos on live leaks, but didn't find much. CEO says Facebook is empty of coronavirus if you search. It has a page that explains the coronavirus, but that's it. The only thing I've seen on Facebook are the videos that I posted. And I've only posted, the same videos that I posted on YouTube onto Facebook. I don't know if you saw them on there, but they were the exact same ones. That's the only ones I've seen on there. Doodoo Master, well, it's very understandable that you may not be able to share your sources, and I'm not sure if you are at risk for doing what you are, but I and others assure you and your efforts to show the reality, or salute you and your efforts to show the reality. I appreciate that, and that's why I'm doing it. I don't want to hide the facts. I don't want to be like just a regular news reports that tell you, hey, don't worry, it's going to be okay. I'm showing it from the inside, not from the outside. That's what I'm trying to do, and unfortunately, it's not a happy thing, but it's something that we need to know, right? So that's why I do it. Data Junkie. In my state, masks are illegal because of facial recognition technology. I don't know how they define masks, though. Well, so in this scenario, let's say that somebody in your state does get the coronavirus, right? Heaven forbid. Are you guys still not going to be able to wear masks, or what? Like, I know you won't be able to answer that, but I'm asking as far as your state goes. You know what I mean? CEO says, I will post your channel on a very large forum tomorrow. Dude, I appreciate that big time. I'm assuming you're a dude. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe I should say dudette. I don't know. Guys, girls, and everything in between. You know what I mean? CEO, yeah, I appreciate that, man. That'd be great. Yeah, I would really, really appreciate that. I'm a Skelly Plays. Did you see that says coronavirus scare Las Vegas flight? No, Skelly, give us the deets, please. I didn't see that either. I'm a Skelly Plays. Did you see that says coronavirus scare? Let me pull it up right now. When was this from? A couple days ago? Today? Yesterday? When was it from? Coronavirus scare Las Vegas flight. We'll soon find out. Data Junkie says, are we talking about possible Ebola component where blood comes out of every opening? I hope not. Okay. Passenger removed after. Okay, here we go, guys. I'll load this page up. This is what I'm Skelly Plays was talking about. It's right here. Give it a second. CEO says that's pneumotic plague, Data Junkie. Pneumatic plague. Pneumatic plague, sorry. This page is taking a while to load up. Pneumonic is just coughing up blood. Ebola comes out of the eyes, every opening. Yeah, the Ebola one was a real disaster. It was about 10 years ago. Brian Wireman says, usually when they say it's nothing you should worry about, you should actually worry. Yeah, especially this time around. This is definitely something to worry about. CO says, this is pneumonia, which leads to lung failure. Okay, I don't know why this page isn't loading. It keeps timing out on me. Let's go back and see if I can pull up another one. Looks like it happened about a day ago. I think it was from sick passenger escorted off plane at BWI amid coronavirus scare. The person was released after a medical evaluation, health officials say. So this was from 2 days ago. Well, because now it's just after midnight here anyways, it's 1:30. Okay, let's see what it says. A passenger who recently traveled to China and was showing flu-like symptoms was escorted off a plane at Baltimore/Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport Saturday afternoon, out of an abundance of caution. The Maryland Department of Health said in a statement the sick passenger did not meet the CDC's critical for coronavirus testing, but was referred to a medical facility for evaluation to determine whether additional follow-up is necessary. So basically, it was a scare. Yeah, like the person said earlier, it was just a scare. There is no coronavirus off this one. It was from medical officers escorted the passenger who had been to Beijing off a Southwest flight from Las Vegas. Data Junkie at CO, thank you, but I'm asking Mavakaga because he has seen footage I have not. Yang says, you can call me a paranoid, but I have been saving food with long life. If ever I need to lock myself in, I will. Yang, that is the smartest thing you can do. You know what? It's nothing to do with paranoia. It's got to do with being prepared. And that's exactly what you're doing. You did the good thing. Data Junkie says, thank goodness you did, Yang. You see? Nothing but goodness. That's what you did. I'm Skelly Plays says, passengers on a Southwest Airlines flight in Las Vegas wore masks over their mouths as another traveler was escorted off the plane after showing flu-like symptoms today. Data Junkie, thank you, Mavakaga, for answering my question. I hope not as well. Not a problem, Data Junkie. That's what we're here for. All right, guys, gals, everything in between. I think it's time to call it a night. It's 1:40 in the morning here. Scully says, because I live in Las Vegas, I'm scared to go to middle school tomorrow. Wear a mask. If you can, wear a mask. If not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to stay home or what your story is. So you must be, 12, 13 or something? I don't know. Maybe you should talk to your parents, Tell them that you're really scared and that you're worried about it. See, try to inform them as to what's going on if they haven't been aware of it already. I don't know. That's up to your parents to decide if you should go to school or not, right? I can't say. But yeah, like I said, guys, gals, everything in between. I appreciate it. Everybody who came along for the ride tonight. As I said, this was my first time doing this. Let's do it again sometime, maybe in a day or two. I don't know, but I will continue to post videos. Tell your friends about the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate if you guys do also give a thumbs up to this video. Hit the bell icon so you guys will for sure know that there's a new video posted or a live stream. And yeah, that's it. So I'll finish reading these last two comments and then we'll call it a night, all right? Data Junkie says that I'm a Skelly Plays. Have you talked to your parents about your fear? Maybe they can look into your local situation and know what to do. I'm a Skelly says yes at Data Junkie. All right, guys. So